Hey, hey. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We're finally hit 15.7. I was stuck at 15.6 for like 2 months. I was losing my mind. And I just saw subscribers going down, and now it's starting to go back up again. So I feel better. So I am not usually a morning creator, so I don't expect a big crowd because nobody expects me to go live in the morning. I actually should be sleeping right now. But what's up, Rocco? So welcome everyone who is here. Welcome Diamond. Welcome Tammy. My three healers, Jay, Mystic, Katrina. Shout out to Tiffany. I know she's listening. So I'm going to get to it because I have not even slept yet. I've been up all night working on this damn website. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was trying to figure out what Tiffany was so mad at. Like, what was going on with her? And watching our lives, I couldn't really grasp like the whole picture about what's going on. Not about Summer. So I couldn't really grasp like what was going on. I knew she was really, really, really pissed, but I didn't know why. And hey Lippy, and when you watch her lives, like if you're not really following it over and over, it's very hard to catch on. So I kept asking, like, what's going on? And everyone's like, oh, it's too long. And Tiffany was like, I'll call you. But I didn't really get the gist of what was going on. So one of my Patreons yesterday posted in Discord, this might help explain it. I want you to know, I don't know how Tiffany did not lose her mind. I would have probably punched a wall and broken my hand. That's how aggravated I would have been. Now, with that said, I was aggravated to the point I couldn't even sleep. I was like tossing and turning. I sent her a message at like 5:30 in the morning. I was like, I know you're probably sleeping, but I just heard what's going on. Holy fuck. So before I play it, let me give you a little background. So the background is that Tiffany had some girl on her panel. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what happened because I'm going to let you guys go into this blindly like I did. It makes more sense when you go in blindly because then everything you missed on Tiffany's, you'll understand. Everything is going to make sense. Hey, Feisty, everything is going to make sense. And then it's going to be like, oh my God. I don't know who this crotch person is, but all I got to say is she's got one fucking set of balls. Between her, the shit with Benny, the shit everywhere is enough to make you pull your head out. Like literally pull your hair out. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. For those of you guys that know what's going on, is Squall tit, I call squawk, rotch, whatever. I'm telling you, I am just dumbfounded at what I heard. And if you're like me and you haven't been following it like, every day and you're trying to get bits and pieces and you're trying to put it all together, this is going to put together Tiffany's last 2 lives, I think. But it's mind-blowing. I'm telling you, it's fucking mind-blowing. So let me go ahead and get right to it. These people are sick. I agree, Lisa. But this is where the Summer Wells community has gone. This is how bad the Summer Wells community has gotten. Like, we thought Benny was bad and BH was bad. Betty Butthead. We thought they were bad. This takes it to a whole new level. This is like you went from level A to level, I want to say like M when it came to Betty Butthead and Benny Butthead and MGL. This one takes it from A to Z in less than 60 seconds. Like, no joke. First is, no, depth trial's on break until the 19th. Till the 9th, I think the 9th, no, the 23rd. Either the 19th, my mom's coming the 19th, so the 19th is in my mind. But it's somewhere around there. It's off for like 2 weeks or something. So, all right, Let me go ahead and pull it up. And I'm sorry I'm using this platform instead of my regular one. So this is go through StreamYard, so the sound isn't going to be as good. But let me also say, well, you got the title of his video correct. Of course. Triggered crimes. I don't know if how many of you guys know triggered crimes, but triggered crimes went up in defense of Tiffany trying to speak to Crotch or whatever her name is, Squall Tits, whatever. I mean, anybody that names any female that names themselves Squall Tits, that either better have some back story on it or you're just a weirdo. But all right, let's get to this. It's not that long. It's about 20 minutes or something. Hey, Tiffany.
Into, any of that. Like, I'm not going to share my opinion on any of that when it comes to that. But I want to try my best.
No, this is not drama. Hey, Lindsay, I had to say something, Reagan. If you haven't heard this yet, when you heard it, you'll understand.
Best.
Can you guys hear it okay?
To clear stuff up here with Tiffany. So, and Squall.
Hey, MC.
Because my name was thrown in, and here's the thing. There she is. Okay. So let's let Tiffany say what she's got to say.
I'm only here because you're asking me for.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not gonna leave you up here by yourself to deal with this bullshit because you did not ask for this. I don't want to talk about Jody Squall. Please don't ask me about Jody. Please do not talk about her son while I'm here. That's all I ask. This is not about Jody. This was only about Tennessee Truth stealing your story.
Now, let me also say, by the time this is over, you're going to understand the whole Jody Sue stuff, because I didn't really understand it either, but you're going to understand it by the time this is done.
And somehow it became about Jody, and I'm not here for that. I allowed Tennessee Truth on my panel long ago. I did not ask her to come on. I did not coerce her to come on. I did not force her to come on. In fact, I told her I didn't think it was a good idea because she was local and I did not want her safety to be at risk. I was very adamant about that. I was worried that possibly if this man was as dangerous and abusive as he was, that he could possibly abuse or hurt again.
Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, who is this Tennessee person? All that's going to make sense in a few minutes too.
I told her to talk to her husband. I told her to run it by the people she loves to get their input and to make sure that it was absolutely what she wanted to do. And I wasn't going to exploit her. That was my biggest thing. She came back around after several months. We kept in touch. Everything seemed cool. She seemed normal. She came back and said, I'm ready to talk. I still said, take a little bit more time. Make sure this is what you want to do. I have verification and proof of all of this, and I hope I would never have to show it. I do not want to show text. I do not want to do anything like that. I don't even want to be talking about this at all. Actually, Squall, I only spoke out about this because I was told she stole your story, and it made me sick to my stomach.
Now, mind you, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, what is the big hoopla about? This is when it starts to get interesting. And I know some of you guys know this like story 10 times already, but there's a lot of people that probably don't. So at this point, I'm like, all right, this is not that big of a deal. What's going on here? So to give you a gist, if you don't know, this girl, Tennessee, whatever, decided to go on Tiffany's panel. Tiffany had no idea who this girl was. She goes on Tiffany's panel and gives this horrendous story horrendous story about how she was raped and blah, blah, blah. All Tiffany did was give her this platform. Like, of course she's gonna, she lives near Summer. Maybe there's something to this. Tiffany had no idea whose story it was. She had no idea what was going on. And then she finds out that this girl stole Squall's story. Okay. So you would think that Squall would be mad at the girl that stole the story, right? I mean, logic would tell you that. Well, that's not how this turns out.
That's why. Okay. I don't need tissues, Lisa Jones. I'm just fine. Thank you.
And Squall was allowing the chat to bash the fuck out of Tiffany.
The hate in your chat is unreal. I don't even know half these people. If you hate me and you don't know me, go get help. Anyhow, Tennessee Truth came up on my panel, told her story. She received boatloads of love, okay? I did not send you proof, Squall, because the proof came from Triggered Crimes. I don't sell my friends down the river. I don't share my friends' text messages. And I wasn't about to put out what Triggered Crimes sent to me. She was looking out for you, okay? So when she came to me a while ago, it wasn't just yesterday, it was a while ago, I actually doubted her and said, well, I don't know. They're abused by the same man. It's possible that maybe they had the same exact experience. Maybe it's possible that he used the same things, like she had explained rope and props and shit and colors of things and everything that she said on my panel. Okay? So when Triggered Crimes came to me and said she stole Squall's story, I believe her. I believe her without a shadow of a doubt because I've known her for years. She's never, ever lied to me. She is not a dishonest person. So she was looking out for you as well, obviously. So you just used her and threw her in my face. I'm looking out for you. Meanwhile, all this craziness is going on with Jody, and I'm not going to get that muddled because this has nothing to do with Jody. It only has to do with what happened with Tennessee Truth. And I didn't even say Tennessee Truth's name today at all. I did not even say her name. I didn't name her. I figured everyone knew who I was talking about. There's only 2 victims who have ever spoken on my panel, and everyone knew I wasn't talking about Don's victims. So simply put, I'm not trying to mortify anybody, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody, especially not when it comes to a topic like this. So when Trigger Crimes told me she stole your story, I thought, okay, it's possible they could have been, he could have used the same things he used with Squall. Maybe that's what happened. It's the same man, different victims, but it would make sense. So it wasn't a far stretch. After yesterday, when I reached out to Tennessee Truth and I received the response that I did, she literally laughed in my face, laughed in everybody's face in this chat today when they said, how could you lie about this? She sat there and talked shit to people. That is not the reaction of an actual victim. And I'm going to say it. Okay. Whatever. I'll be made into a villain anyway. Okay. I let this girl on my panel to tell her story. And from what I understand, it's your exact story. Now,
logic right here would tell you that the girl would be on Tiffany's side. That's where logic and Summer Wells community don't seem to line up. What you're about to hear, you're going to enter into the Twilight Zone. I promise you. I'm going to play the music. Do, 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 do. That's exactly what you're about to enter, is the Twilight Zone. I promise you.
When she told me all of these things, I don't know your story, but Triggered Crimes knows your story. Okay. That's why I said, okay, When she said to reach out to you, I did. That was months ago. I know that you and I are on complete opposite sides of the fence, and we are not friends or even, not even in the least, probably people that would get along. Clearly, that's pretty clear to see. So I come in here, okay? I never doubted you. I never questioned you. I didn't even question Tennessee Truth, okay? All I said was, I was sorry. I reached out to you last night and I said I owed you an apology and expressed, which you failed to tell anybody, what I said to you last night. How extremely sorry I was and regretful that I allowed someone to come on my panel and use your story. And I said, I can't imagine.
Now, let me reiterate, if you're not really catching what Tiffany's stating, let me reiterate what's going on. Tiffany is apologizing to Squall for giving this other person a platform because Tiffany feels horrible. She feels like she was lied to. She feels like she was betrayed. She feels like this is way wrong. Like, here I am giving this girl a platform when she stole your story. So Tiffany is more than apologetic. She is like, wow, is this really happening? Like, did this, and she feels horrible. She feels really bad. And she's trying to explain to Squall, like, look, I'm so sorry for, being in this position because I feel horrible. I let this girl on my panel. Oh my God. Hey, Jenny. I let this girl on my panel and she stole your story. So again, what you're waiting for Squall to say, you're totally not going to hear. I know I have many logical people. You're not going to hear what you think you're going to hear. You're going to hear the exact opposite. That's why we're in the Twilight Zone.
What it must have felt like for you to listen to another woman tell your story to the whole entire world. And I don't feel good about that. I felt like a piece of shit. Okay, so yes, you reached out to me last night. I apologized and I meant what I said. I wasn't trying to set you up. I did not try to, you reached out to me. You just sat here a little while ago and said that you think I set you up. You reached out to me.
And no, and how that happened right there, sorry, Tiffany, but how that happened right there was I was talking to Tiffany and Squall at the same time, right? And I told Squall, please, hear Tiffany out, and this is her messenger, okay? That I felt that y'all two needed to discuss what, further what was going on, right? So, and get y'all in contact. And that's just what happened. So I was speaking with Tiffany in DMs when Squall hit Tiffany up last night. And they took the conversation from there. And I thought that everybody had agreed to try to handle the
And that's Triggered Minds talking, by the way.
whole situation privately and just let different creators that we know in the community from behind the scenes about this lady, right? Because we didn't want it all public and it puts everybody in a bad position because, I don't know what's true with that lady's story or if she really has a story or whatever. I don't know. It's just a subject that it's not good to be on YouTube with about any of it. So that's how that came in. That's how they got in contact last night.
So when Squall reached out to me, I told her I'm extremely sorry. I actually unlisted the live for her because she wanted to know what Tennessee Truth said. I unlisted it for her and I sent it to her so she could listen to it. And I told her, take as much time as you need with it. I will unlist it for you. You can listen to it. Let me know if there's anything in that live stream that you feel is a problem. I will clear this up because there's absolutely no way to make it right. I can't undo a woman taking someone else's story and using it as their own. I can't make that better. There's nothing that can fix that. There's no words I can say to make it right. There's no action I can do to make it right, but I will clear up anything that was said and used that was Squall's story. So that's just me trying to do the right thing. That's it. Somehow today it turned into everything but what it was about. Don't ask me how, because people's hate is so strong for other people. Like, so Squall, it doesn't even seem like you're worried about this. Like,
now again, Tiffany is being overly apologetic. Squall still hasn't said anything, but she's being overly apologetic. She feels horrible. She's trying to get Squall to give her a response, say something. We're all expecting her to say, it's not your fault. I totally get it. I can't believe this bitch stole my story. That's what we're all expecting. I'm listening to this at 5:30 in the morning, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, this girl's going to say, how dare she, blah, blah, blah. Again, just remember, we're in the Twilight Zone.
The way I'm seeing it, Trigger Crimes is telling me, listen, this is Squall's story. And Squall, you're defending Tennessee Truth. I'm over here feeling sorry that I allowed this to happen, unbeknownst to me. And you're pissed at me because of Jody. Like, this has nothing to, none of this had anything to do with Jody. That's why I don't want to talk about it. And I refuse to talk about Jody. She's been attacked here all day. And I cannot understand. So, Squall, you even said that I'm making Frank look like a monster. Excuse me. What do you mean? Isn't he a monster? I'm not going to elaborate, but how am I making your attacker look like a monster?
Okay, now, if you don't know who Frank is, okay? Frank is this man who allegedly, and I will say allegedly, did all these horrific things to Squall, and also did all these horrific things, the exact same things to this other person. Well, Reagan, that's why I'm stopping and filling you in. And did these horrible things to this other person. That's who this guy Frank is. And he's a child predator, which has been proven. But Squall then says, this is her attacker, her rapist, whatever. And I heard they went into graphic detail about the things that happened to them. And yet, she's sticking up for Frank. Okay. So now we have a girl who stole her story. We have a rapist, child pedophile predator that she's sticking up for. And Tiffany's sitting here apologizing because she feels bad.
What does that even mean?
What I am saying is if someone is guilty of something, then they're guilty of it. But if they're not guilty, don't let someone lie to people when you know that it's BS.
What the fuck is this woman even talking about? You know what that was? That was, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. So I'm going to come up with some strange fucking thing so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to repeat for you guys what she just said.
People's hate is so strong for other people. Like, so Squall, it doesn't even seem like you're worried about this. Like, the way I'm seeing it, Trigger Crimes is telling me, listen, this is Squall's story. And Squall, you're defending Tennessee Truth. I'm over here feeling sorry that I allowed this to happen, unbeknownst to me. And you're pissed at me because of Jody. Like, this has nothing to, none of this had anything to do with Jody. That's why I don't want to talk about it. And I refuse to talk about Jody. She's been attacked here all day. And I cannot understand. So, Squall, you even said that I'm making Frank look like a monster. Excuse me. What do you mean? Isn't he a monster? I'm not going to elaborate, but how am I making your attacker look like a monster? What does that even mean?
What I am saying is if someone is guilty of something, then they're guilty of it. But if
somebody is guilty of something, then they're guilty of it. Gee, that took a lot, Einstein. But it was like she had no idea what she was going to say, so she just popped off something. I'm sorry, but that was not exactly a intelligent comment. Just saying.
If they're not guilty, don't let
profound. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. It's too early.
Someone lie to people when you know that it's BS.
Okay, don't let someone lie to people knowing it's BS. So here she's trying to say that it's Tiffany's fault, that Tiffany knew this girl was full of shit. How would Tiffany know this girl was full of shit? She would have no idea this girl's full of shit. If someone is upset, I mean, anyone that knows Tiffany knows that if someone's upset or has a story to tell, Tiffany will more than welcome up on the panel. Be my guest. Here's the floor. Share your story. I got no problem with it. That's just Tiffany. And anyone knows that. So for her to say that it's Tiffany's fault, okay, so I'll go on her panel and I'll make up some crazy ass story. And then Tiffany and everyone can blame her. I mean, it's ludicrous.
And make it worse than what it already is. That is not going to help find Summer, and that is not going to help other survivors.
Like, that gives a what? Like, what are you talking about, lady?
Okay, but this
isn't. I just looked at my live a while ago that I was on. The live chat has not come up on that yet, but when it does, everyone that was in that live, if you saw Tiffany and other people come into chat and attack TT, will you please drop a 1?
Okay. So let's rewind that. So remember, TT is the girl who stole Squall's story. Okay. Tiffany felt horrible and was apologizing that TT went on Tiffany's panel and lied and told this story that was Squall's story. Triggered Crimes told Tiffany, hey, that's not her story, that's Squall's story. So Tiffany came on Squall's to say, hey, look, I apologize. So what does Squall do? In logic terms, what would happen is Squall would thank Tiffany for coming to her. But remember, we're in the Twilight Zone. And in the Twilight Zone, Squall sticks up for the girl that took her story and bashes Tiffany. Yeah, you heard that right. Because remember, we're in the Twilight Zone. You're welcome, Chair.
I was not the one that brought it up. You came into my chat with your followers and you attacked TT in my chat.
Now, again, remember, TT is the one that stole Squall's story. And not only did she steal Squall's story, but she used Tiffany to go on Tiffany's panel. And all this was within 24 hours. Okay. And she she used Tiffany, and now Tiffany was pissed, rightfully so. Like, who are you to, steal someone's story and make it your own? And Squall is mad at Tiffany for saying something to TT. That's a big red flag. Like, really? Remember, we're in the Twilight Zone.
And then
I did not come in here and attack her.
You told her you were going to go live tonight and put everything out there.
I have nothing to go live about. I already went live earlier today and I addressed it for 10 minutes at the end of my live. When I came in here, I told her off because she was laughing in everybody's face who felt bad for her, who felt sorry for her, who showed sympathy to her. When I watched her responses to people and the way she snubbed them off after all of those people supported her, 14,000 views on that video that I did for her and let her come on my panel and she thinks it's a
How
joke.
long of a time did you know that she was lying?
Why are you worried about a woman who
How long-
stole your story, Squall?
Because you're letting your followers
Wait,
fall
wait.
for it to make
Wait.
me look bad.
For what?
Okay, so before Tiffany loses her shit, let me explain this. So Tiffany comes out of the Twilight Zone for a second and asks her, hey, why are you mad that I am saying something to this girl? Because remember, Tiffany feels very used over this, and rightfully so. And she asked Squall a very legit question. Squall's response is, well, how dare you come into my chat and attack her? And I forgot what else she said. But basically, she is saying that it's Tiffany's fault that she allowed TT on her panel because it makes Squall look bad. Yeah, you heard that right. So Tiffany tried to get out of the Twilight Zone and she was sucked back in by an alien. The aliens came down and sucked her back up into the Twilight Zone. I'm going to rewind a couple of seconds because, like I said, I'm very tired, but I'm going to rewind it for a minute so you can hear exactly how Squall responded after Tiffany got sucked up by the aliens.
When I came in here, I told her off because she was laughing in everybody's face who felt bad for her, who felt sorry for her, who showed sympathy to her.
Now, also, mind you, Tiffany, you on average nowadays, Tiffany has 600, 700, 800, 900 in her live. So, they're very sympathetic people, a lot of them. So they all felt really bad for this person. Like they were all like opening up their hearts and we're so sorry and blah, blah, blah. So right around here is when Tiffany gets taken by aliens back into the Twilight Zone.
I watched her responses to people and the way she snubbed them off after all of those people supported her. 14,000 views on that video that I did for her and let her come on my panel and she thinks it's a
How
joke.
long of a time did you know that she was lying?
Why are you worried about a woman who
How long-
stole your story, Squall?
Because you're letting your followers fall for it.
Because you're letting your people fall for it. So it's Tiffany's fault that TT lied, and she's literally saying that it's Tiffany's fault that Tiffany allowed her viewers to fall for it. You heard that correct, people. This psycho literally says it's Tiffany's fault because Tiffany's people fell for it. Last time I checked, Tiffany is not a cult leader, and she would not tell anyone to commit suicide or do anything like that. So her allowing her people to fall for it to make Squall look bad is the absolute craziest fucking thing I ever heard.
To make me look bad.
For what? They fell for a fucking lie. They fell for someone stealing your story. Fell for what? What are you talking about? Are you
Let me just tell you, in 4 years, I've never heard Tiffany scream like this, ever.
delusional? Fell for what?
You
They
let
fell
her
for
shit
someone
talk
stealing
me.
your fucking story.
You let her shit
Who
talk
fell for
me.
what?
What? Okay.
You let
You
her
fucking kidding me?
Stop. Wait. Time out. Hang on. Squall.
Tiffany Marie, you allowed her and you told me in the messages that she shit talked me. You never gave me proof of that. And until I see the receipts.
Okay. So she wants proof. Okay. This girl wants proof that TT was talking bad about her or something. So, hey, Sarah. So she's not allowed to talk shit. Tiffany is not allowed to talk shit to this girl because Squall wants proof that this girl was talking shit about her. Forget the fact, like absolutely forget the fact that this girl literally allegedly stole her story. I think they're both completely full of shit. I don't believe the story at all. I think they're both liars. They're both attention seekers. And it seems like the right thing to do because they live near Summer Wells, allegedly. Thank you, Jenny. So, yeah, I am not buying either one of them. But again, Tiffany comes out of the Twilight Zone. She's trying to get some normal answers, and the aliens come and they suck her right back up into the Twilight Zone.
I am going on fucking hearsay.
Hearsay about what? Hearsay about what? Tiffany has her live. It was more than obvious this girl stole a story. But all this person Squall is worried about is how she looks to other people. That's all she cares about, is how she's going to look.
Okay.
And then you come into my chat before I know on my channel. You can keep your drama bullshit over there on your shit.
What? What? This is, okay, this is why you guys are in the Twilight Zone.
Don't bring it over here. You brought it over here, so I addressed it.
Okay, before we even hear any more, let me go one step back into the Twilight Zone. With Tiffany out of the Twilight Zone, logic would be all Tiffany did was give somebody her platform. That's it. That's all she did. She didn't form an opinion. She didn't have an opinion. She just gave somebody her platform. That's it. That's all she did. And this squawk rot, whatever she is, takes it to a whole new level, takes it to the Twilight Zone tenfold, and makes absolutely zero sense. I can't even find where she's making sense. She is looking, in my opinion, she's looking to fight and doesn't even have a foundation to fight. TT is Tennessee Tutu, I don't know, Tennessee something. And she's looking for a reason to fight. She can't find the fight. She's not half as intelligent as Tiffany. So she's using this TT as a way to, I guess, try to act like she's as smart as Tiffany, but she's coming across like a complete fucking idiot. I don't know. TT, I think trailer trash. So if the shoe fits.
You can go fuck yourself.
And what did Tiffany do wrong? Just curious what Tiffany did wrong that she's yelling at Tiffany to go fuck herself. I didn't hear anything that Tiffany did to warrant that.
Go ahead, Triggered.
Okay.
Poor Triggered Mind is lost. Doesn't know what to say. Absolutely lost.
That's not. Okay. So, Squall, so I'm guessing you're.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. You all don't think I'm hurt? I have got messages months and months and months, and I had her on my panel 4 or 5 times before.
Yeah. The only word that comes to mind with Squall for me is MGL. It has to make it about her. I swear to you, that's what this reminds me of. Listening to her is like listening to MGL. I think she's even a little worse than MGL. But all I hear is me.
Before she came to you. She blocked me when she came to you. Because I called her out for her lies and she blocked me. When Triggered sent me that video of yours where she was on your panel for the first time, I let her know.
Yeah.
But what you're telling me that she was saying are specific details that she did not tell me. but you have not shown me proof of that. And that's what I need to see before I make up my mind.
Okay. So,
Okay, again, this girl allegedly stole her story and went on Tiffany's panel. How is this an apology to Squall? How is it? Well, I guess that would be an apology, but not from Tiffany. Why does she need proof that Trailer Trash was talking bad about her? Why would she need proof of that? That's the only thing she's mad at? What about the fact that she stole your story? That you're not mad at, though. That she's not mad at. She's only mad if she believes that Trailer Trash spoke bad about her, but doesn't care if she stole the story. Yeah, there's logic. That's what happens in the Twilight Zone.
so Tiffany's got a lot of that, I'm sure, and Tiffany doesn't, I know she does, and she told me yesterday that she's got a lot of it. So I don't, with all of this popping off the way it did, it's not enough time. But let me ask you something, Squall.
That's correct, Tammy. That's why I said I'll explain everything. Everything is going to make sense. We're not being punked. That's why it's scary, but we're not.
Can we be fair in saying that, the credit of this lady, I think she's played all of you guys, every single one of y'all, everybody in the community, right? So
I'll agree with that, but I think they're both players.
So, in my opinion, she doesn't even deserve to even be on a platform or even try to explain anything, because we've seen enough to know that she's lied, right?
We were supposed to have handled it behind the scenes.
Right.
And Tiffany
And
wanted to chat.
And I hate that it went down that way or whatever, but Tiffany must have felt that she needed to address her at that moment, I guess. Right. So, and whether it's the right or the wrong way, it's not for me to say.
Some of the things that Tiffany Marie told me in Messenger, though, I want to see with my own two eyes. I will not take anyone's word for it.
What would you like to see?
The trash talk. You told me that
I never told you that. Trash. Don't you lie on me, Squall. Don't you lie on me. I am not sitting here and listening to you lie on me. I never told you anything that went on in my Discord. I don't even know what she wrote in my Discord or if she trash talked you in my Discord. If she did, I could certainly let you know, but I never came to you and said she trash talked you in my Discord. That's awfully strange for you to sit here and say you want to see proof of what I told you in messages that she trash talked you in my Discord when I never said such a thing. No, that's awfully strange to me, but you keep asking me for proof, and the proof is sitting on your panel here with me. Right. The proof is sitting here, right here with me, who told me she stole Squall's story. When I talked to you, you told me, well, she doesn't, Frank Light doesn't have a basement. So there you go, Squall. There's one thing down, okay? Then the rope, okay? The props that he used, those were all supposedly used on, I don't even want to say this is horrible. Yeah. Anyway, so you're asking me for proof. My proof are my messages with triggered crimes. You want me to put my messages out with her?
And here's the thing. I will show her that. Okay, I will show her that. Tiffany came to me and said and told me
you can show her
that she has no problem. Yeah. She has no problem. She said this in the message to me that I will show Squall anything, everything, anything if she wants to see it, right? And that goes all the way down to the messages and who she was talking to and her followers, right? Because this lady was going and telling Tiffany's followers and all kinds of crazy bullshit lies, okay? To make Squall look crazier than what she, what everybody thinks she already is, I guess.
Trigger crimes, you should have gone with that. It was everyone thinks she's crazy as she really is. I know you try to get away from it, but you should have went for the home run.
Right? Squall, like I know a different side of Squall. I deal with Squall privately, and I've always been very sympathetic to her story, right? There's reasons those streams are down that she did at the beginning. And it's because of the dangerous nature of that individual. Okay. And there's a lot more victims and a lot more things that people don't see that they go to Squall with, right? And so that's their thing. And I'm willing, I'll show Squall all my messages with you yesterday.
Yeah, no problem.
And Tiffany, and I know Tiffany will get me whatever to give you, okay, and go from there. But it's not fair to tell Tiffany and put that on Tiffany that the Frank Light with the monster thing. I don't get that. I don't understand it. It's too much.
I mean, how do you
It's
make
too much.
him look like a monster?
Right? Because that man, like from what we all know of and we researched, and even just what the public has seen.
She said, I made
the news
him
about
look like
him.
a monster. How do
It's
I
insane.
make your user look like a monster?
Yes.
Squall, can I ask you, with all due respect, are you in counseling? Like, do you have a therapist or someone you could talk to that's a professional? Because
Now, let me also say that should not have been a dead response. Someone that has gone through what this girl allegedly has gone through would be seeing a therapist, or wouldn't be dead silent when somebody asks them that, because it was obvious what Tiffany meant. She wasn't asking her if she was crazy. It was pretty obvious the way Tiffany said it, what she meant, and Squall was dead silent. That's a dead giveaway that she's full of shit.
I'm a victim myself, and I know
Tiffany should have never had to explain all this, but Squall is sitting back going, oh, what do I say? What's the right answer? What am I supposed to say right now? Should I be in therapy? Should I not be? She's running through this in her mind instead of a simple yes or no. That's a liar.
my abuser is a monster. I could never even imagine saying someone is making my rapist look like a monster. He is a monster. You don't
He
make
is the
someone look
monster.
like a
I agree,
monster.
he is a monster. But the thing is, there is a difference in being guilty of something and then somebody out here purposely lying.
What the fuck is this girl even remotely talking about? All she keeps saying is that if he's guilty of something, you know what that tells me? She's lying. And the reason I say that is he was found guilty of like child predator. He served time in jail for that. So that part, if she was talking about that, yeah, that's what he's guilty of. But in my opinion, in my professional opinion, not only is it word salad, but what does make sense is she's lying. And when Tiffany is putting it out there that he's done these things, then being that she's lying, she feels like, here Tiffany keeps saying how horrible he is and he's a monster, but he's not guilty of that. So that's why she's getting mad at Tiffany. And this is just my professional opinion, but that's why she's getting mad at Tiffany, because he is guilty of the things he did to what he went to jail for. That he's guilty of. But he's not guilty of the crimes that Squall and this other girl accused him of or using his name for. So Tiffany has a much bigger platform. So they don't want this put out there on Tiffany's platform because that's going to reach a hell of a lot more people. So if they just say it in silence or they say it quietly to 100 people, it's not going to warrant the same response. So she's telling Tiffany, well, he is guilty of this. And to me, she's saying he's not guilty of what he did to me. So, or TT. So stop putting it out there. That's my opinion.
on them.
Who is lying?
You're telling me
Now she doesn't know what to say. Now she's backtracking because she's all fucked up.
that TT is lying.
I believe that if Triggered Crimes says she stole your story, I believe her.
Tiffany was out of the Twilight Zone for a moment, and then she got sucked back in. The aliens came down, and they took her right back in.
Yep, and she did, and I went to you a while back with that, right? And
This
believe
does not give Tiffany Marie any right to come into my chat and attack people in my chat.
I didn't attack
allow
anybody's
people-
flaws.
does she
I
allow-
really like to show proof of that.
Now, let's cycle back to the beginning because the alien ship went around and around and around. Let's cycle back to the beginning. Tiffany came on the panel to apologize to her for TT going on Tiffany's panel, lying to her. That's how this whole thing started. Tiffany thought she was doing the right thing by aliens are harvesting brain cells. Exactly. Tiffany thought she was doing the right thing. Tiffany was mad and sought this trailer trash TT in Squawk's live. So Tiffany went in there like, bitch, why'd you lie to me? Why'd you lie to my entire community? Most normal people would do that. The creator, Squall, should have put TT on the spot and been like, bitch, why'd you steal my story? That was my story. You had no right to do that. I thought we were friends, blah, 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 blah. But none of that happened. In the end, now Squall is pissed at Tiffany. How dare Tiffany go into my live and yell at the person who stole my story? Yeah, there's logic. Make that make sense.
Drop a 1 if you saw Tiffany Marie come in my chat.
Oh,
How
God.
many? Or no, don't drop a 1. Drop.
Okay. Aliens came back. They harvested some brain cells. They duplicated them. And now we're back all the way up in the Twilight Zone.
Wow, your whole chat is eating me alive. What exactly do you want from me? I'm the worst
many people
person
did
in
she
this whole
attack?
entire
How
community
many
today,
people
right?
did she attack?
Okay.
You do realize I never fucking doubted you, Squall, right? You do
There's
realize
TT.
I never doubted your story. I never doubted you as a.
She's not going to be on here yelling at me.
She kept muting her.
Fuck my life.
She came into my chat.
Okay.
And she
Okay.
attacked people in my chat, and she attacked people on my panel. Would she allow anybody to come into her chat and attack people in her chat or on her panel? Would she allow that?
I would say no. She doesn't. I get it. Okay. And that's
I've
something
got
that you're gonna have to
receipts.
take up with her. I wasn't here for that.
I've got
And-
receipts, and she's going to back the receipts up,
Okay.
or I'm going to
And
put my
and here's
receipts.
something I'll promise you. And you know me, Squall. I will get you anything that you need to see when it comes to the correspondence with that lady and any proof to back up whatever, right? And I will show you my conversation with Tiffany yesterday.
Nobody
and-
knows what it feels like to sit here
Right.
and listen to someone tell me their story of SA from the same person that did it to me, and I believed her. And I
It's
have
awful.
to
It's
see
awful.
before I say that it did not happen. I am going to have to see it with my own 2 eyes. And until then, you
Okay.
are not going to come into my chat with that repercussion and attack that person.
Okay. So I think this girl is fighting some borderline personality disorder, maybe bipolar. Because what she's saying, in case you missed it, what she's saying is that she doesn't believe Tiffany and she wants to see solid proof that this girl said the things that Tiffany is saying, because Tiffany would just have a reason to tell somebody to come on their panel and make up this ridiculous lie that she stole from somebody else. But Squall wants to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that, oh, It's okay. I just want proof that you went through the same thing I did, because, we must have been through the exact same thing. Did either one of them ever hear of calling the police? Instead of coming on YouTube and discussing these horrible things in detail and how they were tied up and sodomized and this and that. Come on, give me a break. What was that? I have borderline personality. That isn't that. What is it? But I heard this morning. I was like, oh my fucking God. This can't be real life. This literally can't be real life. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can have logic like that and think it's okay. They just can't. Hold on. When some victims hear other SA accounts, it triggers others. So TT, when you told your story, I was in tears and was shaking for hours. It brought me right back to my abuser. Where's my apology? There you go. You're exactly right, Rowena. Squall is now discredited. I totally agree, Sandy. My opinion, yet wants to put out a bullshit story about JSB. Son, yeah, I'm still lost on that whole Jody Sue son. I'm still lost on it. But like I said to Tiffany, I was like, wouldn't that be a kicker if it was true? I don't know how it started. I think everybody is looking for fame. And they see one get it, well, now they want it. That's the only thing I could think of. Why isn't she upset? Thank you, Laura Lee, because you live in the real world. You don't live in the Twilight Zone. Only in the Twilight Zone would you be mad at Tiffany, the girl that gave a platform, rather than the girl that actually sold the story. Only in the Twilight Zone does that happen. That would not happen with any halfway intelligent person. Only in the Twilight Zone. Takes away from real victim. Yeah, we've heard that a lot. But not from this story, but from a lot of people. I think that's maybe what it is. It's not real life. It never happened. It's a fake story that both used. That's the only thing. I totally agree, Cheesecake. Chris, I can't with her. But I know Tiffany likes her. It's all good. But yeah, I don't care for her. But I was like, I don't know what's going on with the Jody Sue son, but damn, that would be some hell of a kicker. Is she related to Amber Turd? Nah, she's not half as good of a liar. Squall is protecting TT. I totally agree. Totally agree. But why? Because they made the same fake story together? Because even with two serial killers, two serial rapists, they're not going to do the exact same things to two people. They just don't. Look at any major serial killer, any major serial rapist. They shared commonalities, but no two are exactly alike. And this girl had the exact same story as the other girl. That tells me that's a red flag right there. Because again, no two rapists do everything exactly the same. I'm thinking almost that they deliberately set Tiffany up. I agree with that. Content, oil content for BK. BK, Burger King money? Hamburger money, honey? People going live for hours feeding dogs. The tit wants to just focus on JS son. All right, can someone, because I never got the whole story, can someone explain to me how JS's son even got involved? I don't even know how JS's son got involved. I'll even drop a link for anyone that wants to take it, that wants to explain to me how JS's son ever is even named. There's a link. Anyone is free to take it that can tell me the story. Because I have no idea. I was trying to follow along today. I was trying to get it. I'm like, what does Jody Sue's son all of a sudden have to do with anything? But they involved him out of nowhere, right? I'm telling you, Candy. That's how I felt. But I know a lot of people were confused. Tiffany, grab the link. I know a lot of people were confused. That's why I wanted to lay it out for everyone. So everyone would like really understand what happened. Like Tammy, now does it all make sense? Like everything like you think you missed over the last 2 days, now does it all make sense? Tiff, I dropped the link. Case does have so many shady people, Laura Lee. I totally agree. I dropped the link twice. But now I'm just spinning. Hold on, let me do it this way. Whoop. There you go. All right. Hey, morning.
Hey, what are you doing? I have a little bit of a hoarse voice today because I yelled and had an outburst.
It's okay.
All right. So I came up so that, well, first of all, thank you for bringing attention to this because it's psychotic as
It is
fuck.
psychotic. It's beyond psychotic. I'm telling you,
uh,
Tiffany, I laid in bed when I texted you, but I laid in bed. I'm like, did I just really hear what I think I heard? Like, is this
Yeah.
where the Commonwealth community has turned to? Like, wow, just wow.
Yeah. So basically, Summer's whole case has been so muddied by, hold on, wait, I know you're going to hear wind. It's been so muddied up by people who want to talk about her, but like basically they have their own, like, it's, if you search Summer's name, there's barely any info anymore. It's all these crazy like Benny Keys lives, and they stick her name on everything. It's such a travesty. They'll eventually pass laws about this shit and they'll ruin it for people who really want to help online. It's sad, actually.
I agree.
But anyway, so Jody Sue's son was brought into this basically by the fact that Jody, her son, and her daughter heard a scream between 4:30 and 4:42. Shit, hold on a second. Did I just fuck that up?
No,
Yeah,
you don't.
4:30 and 4:42 p.m. So Jody knew that because of text messages that she had. She had heard, and she has a lot of trouble with remembering exactly what the scream sounded like. She's been like dealing with trying to go back and remember it for a long time. And the way like to describe it and how it sounded. Her son described it in a different way than she did, like an animalistic sound. Jody said it's, I believe when Jody explained it, she said it was like muffled, like a muffled scream. But Jody's son was on the news and he was interviewed by WJHL. So that's where Jody's son came into the mix.
Okay.
When Jody started speaking out for Summer on YouTube, that's when people like Benny started attacking Jody's son. They doxed him, put out his information. Now, because Jody's son is of age, but I don't know if he's 19. I can't say exactly how. He's still a babe. You know what I mean? Like he's just of age. So that's how he came into all this, because WJHL interviewed him. That's when people started going on the attack and really attacking Jody's son. Instead of just attacking her, they started attacking her son too. So that's how he got brought into this.
Wait, hold on 1 second. I gotta let the dog in. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. I'll look at your chat. I'm smoking a cigarette, guys. Let me see. Tiffany citing sources. Yes, whistle down. Sources are important. Listen, I'm even getting like a little, scrambled in my mind because it's insanity trying to keep up with everything at this point. I have to like sit and question, like, is that the right time? Hold on a second. Because I don't want to say it wrong. But there's so many different stories now that you get almost fucked up about it. You got to make sure that you're telling the right one because so many people are lying and putting out false information. It's hard.
All right, go on.
What
So
was I saying?
TT, Trailer Trash, and Squawk Crotch.
Squat crotch is the funniest fucking name. I almost died when you said that.
So the two of them are the ones that put out that Jody Sue son is involved?
Okay, so no, TT did not. I do not believe she did. She might have written it in chats and stuff, but okay. So, Squall had a panel on her channel. It was 11 hours long, right before all of this exploded yesterday. And what she said was there was a witness who saw Jody Sue's son in the woods. Now, Jody Sue is adamant. He was absolutely not in Candace and Don's woods. He was not in the woods. So that is Jody's. She's like, no, he was absolutely not there. They are saying there's a witness, but they won't tell anybody who it is. Squall went fucking crazy. Okay. Yesterday. So that told me when I saw her reaction to, people actually discussing this, she went berserk. So we know where it's coming from. It's coming from Squall. Squall is a local. She's actually the first panel that Candace ever went on. So that is also another, for me, it just speaks kind of loudly to what's going on here. All right. She says Jody Sue's son was in the woods, but really Jody Sue said her son was going down to the mailbox. So they're saying he was in the woods and they saw the same clothes. Jody's like, nah, they were tweaked the fuck out and doing drugs, chasing shit that wasn't even there. Like there was all kinds of crazy shit going on. Now, this was after the boys were taken from the property. So Squall says,
Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me interrupt you. I got to say this.
God,
Because I was there and I saw it, to get from a house to a mailbox,
yeah.
you most likely have to go through some sort of woods.
No, because I believe, well, I don't know exactly where Jody's mailbox is. I don't know if it's across the street or if it's right at the bottom of her driveway, but the way that it's set up is, where the dog trail is, Laura, where
You're all staticky.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh,
You may want
fuck.
to go back out and come back. It's all static. It's like crazy
Okay,
static.
wait. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
I have to go on my computer. It's my
Okay.
battery on my phone. All right, sorry.
That's all right. So yeah, so while I'm waiting for her, I mean, I was there. I've seen the whole area. I could probably pull up the video that shows the whole area. And like to get from the top of Candace's house to the mailbox, you don't really have to go through woods. But all the other houses in the area, you do kind of have to go through the woods. So, and when I say woods, I don't actually mean woods, but there's so much forest there that I can totally see somebody's high. If someone's high as a kite, you're going to think it's woods, but it may not be woods. It may just be their house, like their area. So, yeah. So I can see why somebody might say it's a very woodsy area, I guess is the best way to put it. Some driveway, yeah, it's all trees. Some houses, even just to get to the driveway, you kind of have like the house next door to the Wells on Ben Hill Road. The house next to them, there's tons of woods. It's like a junkyard in their yard. I don't know which house was Jody's, but there is nothing across the street. There is no across the street. And if there is a house across the street, it's all the way the fuck in the back. You couldn't see it. So yeah. And let me try to pull up the video. I gotta find it. Have no fear. Laura is here. No. Let me see if I can find it. When did I go? January. All right, here we go. All right, that's when I was fighting with Molly. All right, here they are. Let's see. Hey.
Am I back? Do I sound better or is it bad?
Oh, much better.
Okay, I had to plug my phone in and I don't know why my computer's not turning on. Anyway.
I'm trying to find, hold on. I'm getting the video of when I was there.
Okay.
She had it. That was horrible.
Laura, they're across the street from each other, so he wouldn't have had to go through Candace's woods at all.
Okay, but when you say across the street, there's like nothing across the street.
There is though.
I know it's all the way back, but I'm saying you would have woods. You would have trees there to get to the mailbox because you can't see her house. You can't see the house from
you can't
from the road.
It's like all the way up. So her house is situated up in the woods across the street from Don and Candace. So like I said, I don't know exactly where her mailbox is, but Candace and Don's house is across the street. So there's Ben Hill, right? You come down. So remember where everybody was standing when Heels on the Ground went to Don and Candace's and they were standing right there at the bottom of the road?
Yep.
Okay. If you were standing where Marissa was,
hold on,
and you're looking to the left.
Hold on. I'm going to show you the road.
Okay.
Seeking ye shall find.
Here's Laura. She's on mission.
Okay.
Okay.
Turning onto Ben Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
It was pouring. I can't help it.
Yep.
So you have all these woods.
Yep. So that's pulling in.
This is pulling in. We're about to hit Don and Candace's driveway.
Mm-hmm.
That's Don and Candace.
Okay. So right about, let me see where, keep go.
I'm going to keep it going. But this is what's across the street from them.
What side? Wait, where are you? Where's Don and Candace?
I am on Ben Hill Road. Right there.
Right.
The top of that is Don and Candace's house.
That's their house. Okay. Yep. I'm trying to see. You're coming in that way. I want to see though. Did you ever come back around the other way? Do. Okay. Jody Sue's house is if you keep driving. Do you keep going?
Yep. I go all the way up and around.
There might be a garbage can up here coming up. I wonder if it's there. That's directly across from her driveway. Right there. See that yellow garbage can?
Yeah.
Across from that is Jody Sue's house. So it's across the street.
All right. I'm going to come back the other way as well.
Okay.
We do both sides. But all I'm saying is behind all these woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why I'm saying that Jody Sue's house, there is nothing on this side of the street. And it's all the way up and beyond.
Yeah, she's on her own hill and Candace and Don are on their own.
Okay. So then if somebody over here saw there, that would be the woods. This to me is considered the woods.
Yeah, but think about it. He wouldn't have been walking down that hill with look how steep that is.
That's how they all are up there. It's crazy.
Well, this is also coming from Squall's people saying that Jody Sue's son was out in the woods, right? So you got to take into consideration now who this is coming from. She won't tell anybody who said this. Cam came on. So listen to this. Cam from Cracking Cases came on my panel yesterday. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where I'm like, pump the brakes, okay? So he says, this happened. Now, everybody thinks that this happened the day the Summer went missing, right? This story that Jody Sue's son was in the woods.
Wait, they're all saying that. Hold that thought 1 second. Let me just explain to people who hasn't seen this video. Yeah. This is the dead end. This is not Beach Creek. This is the dead end.
That's Ben Hill.
There's a bunch of houses on Ben Hill Road, but this is it. Like, it looks like I'm driving through the woods. No, this is still the dead end. There's like lefts and rights, but this is all the dead end. It's crazy. I was like, wow, she could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And all I did was turn around. And then we got lost behind here. But this is all right behind their house.
So you ready for me to tell you what
Yeah.
happened? All right. So Cam from Cracking Cases came on my panel yesterday, and he's telling me, now keep in mind the panel that Squall did the day before, they say that this happened when Summer went missing, that they saw Jody Sue's son out in the woods the day Summer went missing. So everybody's like, what do you mean Jody Sue's son was in the woods the day Summer? He had to have done something. First of all, where the hell would he have put her? Like, get real. So that you mean to tell me Jody Sue's son with no vehicle walking around in the woods put Summer somewhere and the cops didn't find her and the dogs didn't find her and no one found her? Like, fuck out of here. That's the craziest bullshit.
No, I agree.
You know, like, get it together. It's like the lies are insane. Then Cam comes up on my panel and he says, no, this happened in September or October. It didn't happen around Summer's disappearance. It happened months later. They said it was months later that he was in the woods. So I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that they were saying that this happened when Summer went missing. No, it had to have been September, October. So I'm like, okay. So there we've got, but no one hears that part, right? So then after Cam says it was September, October, he left my panel after he's saying, like, no, I'm not even gonna get into that. Never even mind about Cam because he really pissed me off yesterday bad. He goes directly over to Squall's after he gets off my panel, and she says, no, this happened. I can only tell you that this happened before June 27th. Excuse me, July 27th.
How would she know that?
Right. How would she know that? So Jody Sue's like, really? So were you there when Summer went missing? Like, the fuck? So she says, now follow me.
Yeah,
Squall
your
this
mic
happened-
is chopping again.
What?
Your mic is choppy again.
Are you kidding?
No, I fucking hate StreamYards. I don't even know why
Oh
I'm
my
supposed to use
God.
it.
Hold on. I'm actually sitting right in front of my computer.
All right.
Am I still?
Yeah, a little.
All right, hold on.
All right.
Motherfucker. Yeah, StreamYard sucks.
It really does.
It's
I
horrible.
never use it. I don't know why I chose to use it.
I refuse to pay for StreamYard.
Yeah, I won't pay for it.
Nope. It's disgusting service. Oh, wait, let me wait for my slow ass computer to start up.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm like in the middle of telling this story.
I know. And I was wondering what happened with Cam because I had no idea what happened with Cam.
I'll tell you. All right, hold on. I'm logging in. Come on. I'm impatient.
I don't blame him.
I know. I'm surprised I haven't thrown both my phone and computer out the window by now.
Mm-hmm.
I need your setup, Laura.
I have a good setup.
I know. My son does too. I'm over here with like a computer from 2010. He's got like 5 monitors and the best computer ever. It's okay. We give all the good stuff to our kids.
Are you sure that she lives across the street?
Yeah. Well, not anymore. She doesn't
No,
live.
but I don't know. I just can't see a house being there.
I'm going to pull it up on Google Earth for you. Hold on. I'll show you. As soon as I can log in to this, because I'm still sitting here clicking on my own Google, trying to get in. Everyone rub your hands together and say a prayer for this fucking computer. Send me your good juju.
This is when I was going to go up the driveway.
You were gonna drive up?
Yep. This is when I started backing up. I'm like, come on, let's do
Oh,
it.
you crazy bitch.
Either that or I got lost. I don't remember which one, but it
Yeah,
won't.
what the hell were you doing?
We made the wrong turn or I was gonna go up the driveway. But I ended up trying to go up the driveway. I was like, I'm gonna get a flat tire.
Come on. I don't think I ever saw that video, Laura. So where else did you go?
All over. It was just pouring so bad.
Yeah, I remember. It was raining. All right, almost locked in. If people wonder why it takes me so long to go live, this is why. All right, here we go. I'm coming. All right, I'm gonna sign off this one.
All right. Because I'm looking and I remember it being total woods across the street. I don't remember a house across the street. See how bad it was raining? Oh my God. I still got nightmares about that rain. Okay. Yeah, that's their driveway. And did you guys see it was a huge hill across the street? That's across the street. Thanks, Whistle Down. It wasn't easy. Yeah, I started going up the driveway. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like, you could see all the potholes and shit. All this is like these major fucking potholes. I was like, we're going to die. That long curvy road. Yeah, this is their driveway. This right here is their driveway. The long road I was on, no, that's not their driveway. That's Ben Hill Road. Oh, I had fear. Believe that. See,
Jesus.
what you're looking at is across the street.
All right, I'm back. What's
Hi.
going on?
No, I
Yeah.
was showing. See that hill? That's across the street
What
from
hill?
them.
Yeah, that's Jody Sue's hill.
Oh,
They're
okay.
directly across. I'm going to pull up Google Earth, Laura, and I'm going to show you how they're literally 284 feet from each other. That's how close their houses are.
Okay.
So, hold on. You'll have to share me. Oh, so while I'm doing this, really quick.
Finish the story with Cam.
Well, I won't be able to talk. I'm not going to be able to tell the story while I'm on Google Earth because it's going to crackle me. So let me just get this out of the way. Google Earth makes me crack too. Hold on.
This is all their property, by the way. This is all the Wells property.
Yeah, their property goes very far down the road, actually.
Yep. And it's all
onto Beach Creek. Like if you come, Don did a drive where he showed, and when he was driving down the road, he's like, this is our property. I'm like, damn, this is like really far away. Their property is huge. It's 11.2 acres. So
yep. I showed the whole thing. It's massive and it's very, very hilly and it's up high. What is it? I don't know how that picture got on the end of this video.
They're like their own watchtower on that hill. There you are, Laura. What are you doing? Showing selfies?
I don't know. I don't know how that got on the end of this.
Laura
video.
trying to show her new bod.
I'm telling you, I don't know how that got on there. I was like, why is this picture at the end?
Oh shit.
Oh, I must have paused the video and then like read. I don't know. I just don't know why it was at the end.
So what I'm going to do is, okay, this is where Jody Sue's house is. All right. Okay. You got, let me share this. Share. Here you go. Okay. So here we are on Beach Creek. This is the well right here. See that? You see the house?
No, there we
Jody
go.
Sue's. This is how close they are. So it was to drop. Okay, so the edge of their property is here.
Okay.
And we'll drop a pin here. Look at it's like 90 meters. Ooh.
Okay.
That's how close they are. So let me back that pin too. Okay, you go right here. All right. So if you there's a cabin and there's a house. Okay, so I believe Jody was in the cabin that day that they screamed. So she came into play. The day that Summer went missing, they were doing tree cutting, and because the it was just turning to summertime, the season, a lot of the trees that were blooming and all of like the terrain really coming in thick, from day to day, it was like a huge difference, right? So where you could hear certain things a couple days before, it started to get a little bit more faint as the days went along because the trees were filling in. Then you had tree cutters who were coming through these properties, cutting out, like she said, they were grinding into the ground, like ridiculous removal of all kinds of, she said it didn't make any sense. She's like, I've never seen this type of like tree removal. Like they were grinding into the ground, making all kind of mess. So the dogs, they have dogs, right? Their dogs were not like all of these things leading up to Summer's disappearance. When she explains the story, is that she basically describes it as the perfect storm. So you had people coming into the area that were never there before, all these workers that were showing up, like a bunch of tree cutting guys. So there's people in the area that weren't there before normally that were working in the area. You have the season changing. Now, her son, her, and her daughter were in her cabin. She said that there were, I believe she said there was, you guys, did she say the TV was on or no TV? I'm trying to remember, but the windows were open. And I believe her son heard the scream. She heard the scream. They ended up going outside, looked around, and they didn't see anything. When she came back into the cabin, she couldn't hear the scream anymore. But I believe it was, don't take my word for it, guys. My brain's like frizzled. One of her children could still hear it a little bit, but she couldn't hear it anymore. So 3 people heard this scream, what they describe as a scream. Now, Ronnie Lawson says it's unfounded. A lot of people will take that and say, well, Ronnie Lawson says it didn't happen. That's not what he said. He said it was unfounded.
But he finds Jody Sue completely non-credible.
But no one's ever said that. We cannot say that Ronnie Lawson thinks she's not credible. He's never said that.
Yes, he did.
Really hasn't. No, never. Never, ever.
Yes, he did.
Never, ever.
He said it in an interview.
All he said was it was unfounded, that the scream was unfounded. He never spoke to Jody Sue's character. He never said he didn't trust her, never said she wasn't credible, nothing. All he said was that the scream was unfounded.
It's in print. When somebody asked, I don't remember who, but somebody asked about giving Jody Sue a lie detector test, and he I saw it. He specifically
Where?
said, I don't find her credible. So we've never given
No.
a lie detector.
Where's that at?
It's some article.
Laura.
I swear to you, I saw it in black
I'm gonna
and white.
come through the screen and wring your neck.
I'm telling you, I've seen it in black and
Proof
white.
it didn't happen.
Hold on. Let me look. Keep talking.
All right. So Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard a scream between 4:30 and 4:42 p.m. That was, and she's very dead set on it was absolutely between 4:30 and 4:42.
Okay.
Now you've got on Candace's house here. She's in the cabin over here. It actually makes a lot of sense because look how close they are. If there was a scream, which you can't recreate a scream, right? That's where unfounded to me. How do you go back and prove a scream? You can't unless there were cameras that picked up sound. Like my cameras pick up sound. So if somebody's walking by talking, my cameras will go off and say sound detected or motion detected. Unless there were cameras in the area that picked up sound detected, you can't prove it. That's where people will run around saying, no, Ronnie said she's not credible. No, he said the scream was unfounded. There's a huge difference between unfounded and not credible. I promise you, Laura, you might have seen somebody write that, but it wasn't Ronnie. Promise. He never said that about it.
The reason why that she was never given a lie detector test is because she was not credible. I saw it in black and white.
What?
I swear to you, I saw it in black and white.
Tabby, no. Jody Sue didn't say that it was animalistic. Her son said it was animalistic. Jody Sue described it as muffled. It was her son. So like I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, her son described it in a bit of a different way. So he said animalistic. She said it sounded like a muffled scream. Yeah, Skip, that's what I'm saying. No one can prove a scream. And at the time, she's like, I would have, I could have, I wish, I should have, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have paid more attention. Like when she heard the scream, what she's described is she wasn't thinking someone was being hurt. She wasn't thinking a child was being abducted. She wasn't thinking, do you know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing. There were no bells that sounded off where she's like, I need to go search this whole neighborhood and find out what that was. Do you know what I'm saying? So she heard something, but it wasn't until she came down the driveway at 6:08, 6:09 p.m. She was going down to meet her her boyfriend at the time, her ex, and he was coming home from work. That's when she saw Candace coming down the driveway in the truck. She had Don on the phone and she said she could hear someone talking and she thought someone was in the car with Candace. So when she realized it wasn't anybody in the car with Candace, it was Candace on the phone with Don. And Don was saying, are you telling me someone took my baby girl? So she's like, oh my God, like I didn't know, like I didn't know this was going on. That's when the panic set in. The boys were down by the creek and they were sitting in a line. She described that they were sitting in a line, like they were lined up sitting. They made very minimal eye contact with her. She didn't talk about the boys for a really long time. But see, as you've got time going on, people on YouTube are attacking Summer's brothers, making up stories about them. She kept quiet about the boys for months and months. I think it was like a good 8 months. She said, I will not discuss what the boys said to me. I will not put them out there like that. And she kept it really quiet for a long time. It wasn't until just recent that she explained that the boys told her, actually not the boys, it was the oldest brother. The two youngest didn't talk about anything. The oldest said, they last saw Summer at her swing set. So he called it a swing set. That's where the brothers say the brother said he last saw Summer was at the swing set.
I don't know. I don't believe anything she says, but that's my opinion.
How come you feel that way?
I don't know. My gut tells me she's full of shit. Now, do I think she's involved? My gut doesn't actually say that, but I always thought she was full of shit from the get-go. Never liked
I
her.
wish I knew, like, I know that you feel that way. I just wish I knew why you felt that way. And you're not the only one that feels that way. I see her in a completely different light. I just like, what makes you feel like, what is it about Jody that you feel isn't like, do you think that it could be just like your personality and her personality wouldn't jive? Like, a personal thing?
She is what I'm going to refer to as Amber Heard syndrome.
No.
She talks.
Oh my God, Laura, don't even say that. She literally is like a serious survivor of horrible abuse. Horrible.
No,
abuse.
I don't mean because of that. I mean because she offers too many details.
Use someone else.
Anyone that offers all those details, I don't find credible. When you if you remember stuff later on, I find that way more credible. But I just don't find credible in a lot of things she says. I don't find her credible in how the way she speaks. I think she's high, and I don't mean on pot. I just don't.
Laura,
She's always
always
coming out with new stuff, and the way she's doing it, I just think she's an attention whore. And she's not doing it for money per se, but I think she's doing it for attention. That's, this is a big case. And, like you're saying, she never asked you for money. So I definitely don't think she's doing it for money.
No, she's not. Absolutely. I don't believe she's doing it for money.
I do think it's an attention thing. Because why hasn't she gone to the police? Why isn't she hounding the police with all her new information?
She's told no, listen. She's told them everything. She told them everything day one. She's just not sharing with YouTube. Like, she's not, see, this is a thing. And it might be just like a misunderstanding where, see, I'm glad that I'm asking you this because Jody Sue brought the TBI everything from jump. There's nothing she's ever said on YouTube that she has not told them. She's been in very close contact with them from the beginning. Her children were interviewed. They were literally like put through the ringer. Seriously, like Jody and her kids have been questioned from here to kingdom come way back in the beginning. Everything she told them, Laura, she did not talk a lot about this. She kept everything very quiet, and she did that to protect Summer's case. When she came she was talking about all of this on Facebook. So before she ever started coming to YouTube, she was only on Facebook. She went live on her own Facebook. She gave very minimal detail about anything. She kept everything under wraps, and she said, I'm protecting Summer's case. I'm not going to sit here and explain all these things to strangers. I'm not doing it. She didn't want to give information out. I think as the attacks were unleashed on her and time went on, and this is my opinion over time from watching and observe, I've watched I have literally watched every live Jody has done on Facebook. Like, the hours of live streams that I have watched of Jody are countless. And not just me, like we used to sit, like when she used to go on Facebook and Discord, we would stream it and we would watch and we would listen, like waiting for any, shred of anything for Summer, so we paid really close attention. She was always very clear that what she told the TBI she was not going to be sharing that shit. She said she was keeping it to herself. She owed nothing to anybody, which she absolutely doesn't. But I think as the attacks started getting heavier and heavier on her and her kids, that's when she started giving out a little bit more and a little bit more. So where you're looking at it like, why is she coming out with something new? It's not something new. It's something that is most likely being lied about on YouTube by creators, where she's like, fuck this, I'm gonna nip it in the bud. I'll just tell them that what happened. She's putting things out that need to be cleared up. So where you're like, why is she telling us this now? It was already told to TBI in the beginning. She's just not sitting on YouTube trying to, talk about everything. And she's really not looking for attention. She's trying to clear things up for Summer. Now, there's going to be people who disagree with me. There's people who are like, Tiffany, she defends Jody Sue to the death. Jody Sue can do no wrong. That's not true. Jody Sue and I, we're not like besties. You know what I mean? We talk, of course. And I love that she's willing to speak. I love that she comes on my panel and that she discusses these things. She's the only one in Beach Creek that comes live or goes public. A lot of these people all stay quiet. In my opinion, Summer's very lucky that Jody's there. Who else is doing what she does? No one, not a single soul. So for me, I have a tremendous amount of respect for that. People do come after me for supporting Jody. I don't give a fuck. I personally think the world of her, and I'm glad Summer has her voice. I'm glad that she's there because, like I said, no one else is. Summer's mother isn't sitting there worrying about this. I've seen Jody, things that she said. I'm like, this is what Summer's mom is supposed to be saying. Like, why doesn't Candace care? Like, why doesn't Candace say these things? Why isn't it Candace up until 4 a.m. racking her brain? I guess I know you've followed everything, but maybe not like I'm a bit obsessed with the case, obviously. So you're not going to know everything I've seen, but no, it's not new information that she's like, oh, I'm going to decide to put this out in 2 months. Or when you hear her putting stuff out, it's because some asshole is fucking up the whole thing. And she's like, no, I'm going to shoot this down. I'm going to nip it in the bud by explaining this, this, and this. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if that changes your opinion at all. It's not new information that she's deciding to put out 8 months later. She already told everything. There's nothing from Jody has said, there is nothing I have ever said on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere that the TBI doesn't know. Everything that comes out of her mouth, she's already told them. So I do trust and believe that, because I do not believe that Jody would ever go to YouTube and lie knowing they watch everything. There's just no way. You think she's going to sit on social media and tell stories that the TBI is going to say, this isn't what she told us? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just no way. They would know if she was sitting there lying. The TBI would pick up on that, and it's just, I get it. Like, not everybody's going to believe certain people. Not everyone's going to mesh well. And you might still be like, nope, I don't like her or whatever. And that's fine.
No,
I'm not going to change my mind.
Here's where my head's at. Just like I haven't condemned Don or Candace because they haven't been arrested and they both passed lie detector tests. So I haven't condemned them from jump. Is the same way I'm not going to clear Jody Sue until there's and somebody, and Jody Sue and her entire family are cleared. Now, I say her whole family only because this something came up, but I mean, it could be anybody in her family. It could be your ex. So that's where I'm at. Like there's like Larson said, everybody's a suspect.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
So I'm not going to.
Everybody's a suspect.
I'm not going to clear anybody just because they may be nice or not nice. I'm going to say, you know what? I think you're a little shady. So let's just wait until you're completely cleared. And then I'll be the first one to apologize. If she has nothing to do with it, I'll be the first one.
Yeah, no, listen, no, I agree with you. And I echo what you just said. People be like, Tiffany, Jody's a suspect. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. No shit. I have literally sat on my channel for almost 11 months and I have never said anything but, yeah, she's a suspect. Yep. All of these people are suspects, but I'm not going to shun her. Okay. And that's where I differ from, there are some really fucking crazy people out there right now. It's one thing to say someone's a suspect, and it's a completely different thing to literally attack the fuck out of them on a daily basis to the point where you're terrorizing them, sending people to watch them. She's got people sitting outside her house. She's had people approach her children with cameras in their face. It's really bad. Like, the harassment is insane. So,
But she doesn't live there anymore, right?
no, she moved, but Benny doxed where she lives. He put out where she moved to. So there, I mean, her information was put out, unfortunately, and she's trying to protect herself from something completely different. And now, she's got some freak who is calling her phone saying the most disgusting things. Their name is Green Eyes. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but she'll play it for people to hear when he calls sometimes. Laura, if you could hear, you think she's a suspect? I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I hope to find out. I mean, this shit's crazy. I worry about her. I really do. It's scary, really, truly.
Wow.
But I don't fault you for, I don't fault you for having your opinion, right? Like, okay. I don't want you to think that you're not wrong. No one's wrong for saying someone's a suspect. That's totally fine. I would never say anything different. But I have, over time, there's things that I questioned, like, where I'm like, well, hold on a minute. I don't know if I trust this. Like, I've put videos out that people have, from the old videos of Jody, but they'll say she's talking about Summer when she's talking about the guy that was moving in next door. Like, they twist shit. It's annoying as fuck. Like, I know.
Hold on. Didn't she say that Andy saw Summer's body?
No. So what happened was, no, he didn't say he saw her body. He was extremely abusive man, and he was talking to her daughter, if I remember correctly, and he was being abusive and saying something about, and I believe he said Summer's dead body. Not that he saw Summer's dead body. I don't remember his exact words. He was basically taunting her daughter, and he's a very abusive man from the stories she's explained. No, but that's another rumor where people will say Jody Sue's ex said he saw Summer's dead body. No, Jody was explaining her abuse. She was very open with the abuse she endured. So when she explained the story and he was taunting her daughter, people took what he said and said he saw her dead. Hey, Killer Looks. So yeah, I mean,
Cindy, Ted Bundy did pass a lie detector test, but Don and Candace on their best day don't even have an eighth of the intelligence that Ted Bundy had. That's a difference.
Yeah, but Laura, do you think for a second that, let me ask you this, do you think for 1 second that Ronnie Lawson couldn't come out and say that they passed when they didn't?
I don't see why he would.
You don't? Not to make them comfortable and to make them feel, no?
I really believe that if they were guilty, it would have came out already. Everyone expected it to come out when they were wasted, and it never came out. Then people expected it to happen when Don went to jail. It didn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
Don is smart. Candace is not.
Oh, no, don't you dare put it past Candace is a lot smarter than you give her credit for.
I don't know about that.
Laura, she lived that carny life. You think she doesn't know how to wheel and deal? Candace is smart. She knows what she's doing. She looks dumb. She sounds dumb. She's not.
Knowing how to wheel and deal, yes. But getting as wasted as they've gotten and not saying anything, that's tough to do. I mean, I agree
on that.
I'll
being
tell you things when I'm
fucked
wasted that probably aren't even true. I'll admit to a murder when I'm that wasted, you know? And we've seen
Yeah,
them
yeah,
wasted. So that's weird to me. You can be a con artist and you could be street smart and you could be a hustler, but when you add a lot of alcohol in that, a lot of that goes away. And that's why I tend to think that, as much as I want to say I believe they're guilty, something keeps me away from it. And
There's a very big possibility that, listen, I've always said I keep my mind open to all aspects. I do believe that there was an accident and it was covered up. I don't believe that Don or Candace or Grandis intentionally, murdered her. That's not what I believe at all. I believe, if anything, there was an accident and they freaked out. I don't think Don knows a fucking thing. That's my honest opinion. Sitting here now.
If they would have, I said that from the jump.
Yeah.
But if there was an accident and they freaked out, they would have lost their shit already. And that's why I ruled out that theory immediately. They would have caved when drunk. Not necessarily when they're sober, but when they were that drunk, something would have leaked. It may not have been, yeah, I killed her, or yeah, we buried her, or yeah, there was an accident, but something would have leaked that would have given some kind of inkling that this was legit. Saying something like, I don't know, when she fell. Oh, I was talking when she fell 2 years ago.
Right. I know what you mean. Like slip ups. Like there's never been like, I know what you mean. Yeah. I know.
Never been one slip up that would point that there was an accident or that they did something. The slip ups they've had is using her in past tense.
Laura, who the hell? Well, the thing is, I don't even know though if I don't know, man. I've literally gone through every scenario in my head. It's so hard. Like I think, okay, let's take for instance, if Summer made it home that day, is it possible that Candace could have left and something could have happened? Sure. Yeah. I mean, what if the kids were left home for a half hour? Like Ryan Upchurch is like, was it 2 minutes for a Tennessee 2 minutes? That was what stood out to me. Like, he's got a really great point because I could say, hey, I'm running to the store. I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes. But my son knows 5 minutes. It could be 2 hours for me. You know what I mean?
But
So
I have never changed my story of what I believe happened from July 16th until today. And that is that the boys, Candace, went to the house, had Summer there, said, boys, watch your sister. I'll be back. She went down the hill and went to do dope. She met a drug dealer. She was nowhere on site. She gets back to the house. The boys really weren't watching Summer, and Summer was disappeared. That's what I believe happened. I said that from June 16th, and I said it today. Nothing has strayed me away from that story that Candace was not there. And there's always half truth to everything. And I do believe the truth was, hey, boys, can you watch Summer? I do believe that.
Yeah, but Laura, what are the odds of her never making it back there at all? Like,
because she went there and said, boys, watch Summer. I'm going to run to the store. I'm going to run here. I'm going to run there. And
yeah, but she had just come back from being around all these stores. So why would she go home? Unless, like you said, she was meeting up with a dealer or something. Well, the thing is, right, they picked up a prescription that day. I've always said Summer's whole last day was literally surrounded by, the whole day was about getting a prescription. The whole day. Everything is about grandma's prescription, right? The whole fucking day was basically about a script. The whole day. That's what I'm saying. So you could be definitely onto something with that.
And whether it be a drug run or she was dropping off drugs or whatever, she wasn't there. And that's why she passed the lie detector, because she wasn't there. She does not know what happened. and grandma was sleeping. We already know grandma lied, and a lot of people, and again, I go back to what I said back in June of 2021. A lot of people took grandma's lying or Candace's lying or Don's lying as they're lying. They're trying to cover up something, but I never saw it like that. I saw it as, you know what? Candace doesn't want to tell, even though it's legal for her to leave the boys and Summer,
Right.
it's, you don't want to look like a bad mom.
You
So
know
you're not
how
going to tell
much
them you
more
left them.
respect she would have had. Like, I remember going back to the beginning, everybody wanted Candace to speak out. Like, everyone's like, where's Summer's mom? Where's Summer's mom? Always thought it was Don, and Don gave me the fucking heebie-jeebies always. I could not stand him. Could not stand him. I hated listening to him talk. I was like, this motherfucker's guilty. Like, I was dead set on, really, I was in the very beginning. Fast forward now, I'm like, they put him in front of the cameras because he didn't know shit. He's the best person to talk because he's gonna, first of all, he's gonna look guilty as fuck, but he doesn't know shit. And he's repeating everything he was told. So it makes perfect sense. That's where I'm at. But if you go back to the beginning, now remember when she first came out in the backyard interview, okay? Day 14, took her 2 weeks to come forward. What I want to know, what was Candace doing for 2 weeks? What was her disposition for 2 weeks leading up to that interview with Ansley in the backyard? Then you've got Chris McDonough, who went out there, thank God, gave us an inside look, right? We saw the house.
Yeah.
He talked to Candace, talked to her down at the horse pond. But what stood out to me was this is the thing. My feelings about Candace, number one, when I found out that Don had abused her, changed immediately. I saw her as a victim. On paper, she is a victim of domestic abuse and domestic violence. She wrote in writing she feared for her safety and for her children's. That right away, I'm like, listen, I've got to have sympathy for this woman. You know, on paper, legally, she is a victim of abuse. So that was like a big thing for me. When Chris spoke with her, it changed a lot for me. I had a lot of sympathy for Candace. I was a little bit even protective of her. If you go back, listen in the beginning, I had a lot of empathy, a lot of sympathy for her. But when she made that phone call about Don getting arrested, the fake phone call to Mary, her sister-in-law, everything changed. Candace could have, if she was smart, she could have had a lot of support. Candace could have had a lot of sympathy from people. Chris gave her a lot of, I don't want to say credibility. He didn't lend her credibility, but he gave moms and dads or regular people, everyday people, an inside look to what her struggle was. You could see she's not all there, right? She's
He made her human, though. He made her human.
He did make her human. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And my opinion of Candace changed drastically after that interview. But then when I heard that phone call, I said, motherfucker, this bitch belongs on the friggin' Hollywood Walk of Fame. This is sick. She should have been an actress. If she could pull off crying like that Don was taken by the feds to Boston, I was beside myself. That whole family thought Don was arrested. They thought, they believed Don was arrested. They thought he was booked out, like, in Boston, which is so strange to me. Why would Candace pick Boston, right? That's the FBI headquarters. These people are so fucked up. But after that phone call, everything changed for me. I'm like, nah, this bitch is premeditated AF. Like, it made me sick. And everything that I thought of her, hearing her play that game, I'm like, that she's capable of anything. And it changed everything for me. So she really did herself such a disservice with fucking her in that phone call.
Off subject for a sec, because I heard it somewhere. Did Voices Behind the Walls get split up?
Huh?
I heard somebody talking about somebody saved was in this case for a wedding and they ended up breaking up.
In this case for a wedding? And
Yeah.
no, I don't believe so. No, Cher and her husband they're still together as far as I know. Killer Looks would know. He could tell you in the chat. He'll know. No, they were just live a couple days ago, I think. They had like a sleepover party or something. See how these Yeah, they're married. Yeah, Grave Dodger. Hey, Grave Dodger. They've been around forever. Grave Dodger's like a major OG. I haven't seen them in a long time. That phone call was unbelievable. Who does that? Yeah, TV. That's what I'm saying. It's the craziest shit.
But how do we know? How do we know? And I've said this also from the beginning, and I could be way off, but how do we know that that phone call was 100% fake and only 50% fake? Meaning, maybe somebody did go there and rustle him up, and they said
because the people that were there admitted they wanted to do it again. Like it was legit set up. So there's this girl named Michelle from We Can Bring You Hope. There were people that Don and Candace were actually sharing this with. So they really were. This was a prank on Mary and Jeannie because of Jeannie coming forward about her abuse. So because they were pissed that they came forward about the abuse in their childhood, that was the reason. So this woman had a phone call. I have it on my channel if you ever want to hear it, where they talk about, there's a group of them. There's a couple of them. They have like a podcast way back. This is going like back to the beginning of the case. So when that happened, they had done a phone call that was recorded, and you can hear them saying, Candace wanted to do it again. She wanted to run another one again. Like it was legit set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were people involved. There were actually other people who knew they were doing this, and they said nothing. Like it was a joke. It's the sickest shit. The sickest shit.
Because I thought maybe like that was the people that took, just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I thought the same thing, Laura.
Yeah. Was it the people that took Summer and, maybe they were FBI, but they weren't really FBI, like one of those kind of deals.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way that you heard her and the way that she was, you would definitely think someone was there. So I was saying the same thing. I'm like, well, what if someone really did show up? Like, what if they were trying to intimidate them? You know what I'm saying? Killer Looks said they pushed the wedding back.
Okay.
So they're not broken up or anything. They just push it back, which a lot of people probably are doing right now with the way prices are for everything. I don't blame them. So, I mean, who knows what was going on up there, but they were drunk as fuck and it was all game. So they thought it was funny. Well, look what happened. Don got arrested anyhow. So karma's a bitch, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
How long has he been in now?
He gets out soon. I don't remember. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you when he went in. He gets out in July, I think. Does anybody know the exact date that Don gets out?
I think
middle of July.
I think he went in February.
Right. I think he gets out the middle of July. I think the middle of July. He's going to be, girl, heads are going to roll when Don gets out. I don't even want to know what the hell's going to happen.
See, that's also where Benny failed. Because Benny had what's her name in the palm of his hand, and it completely fucked him up. Completely.
That's what I said. He walked away with nothing, right? So this is where I'm like, are you kidding me? You had, like you said, you had her in the palm of your hand. He could have gone back there. There's so much that could have been done. And he's got nothing to show for it. And I'm like, holy shit, Benny, like, how horribly can you fail as a person? Like, but the thing is, I don't believe for a single second ever that he didn't believe them. He was there for Candace and Don, no doubt in my mind. And I hate that he's spinning it like he did this for Summer and he was undercover.
He did it for the reward money, and he's so dumb and so narcissistic that he fucked that up. Like, all you had to do was sit there and play Candace and play her to the point
Oh,
that
he
she
could have played her like a fiddle.
her. Exactly. That he, play it to the
Well,
point.
Ernie came in. You got to remember, Ernie Shell came in, right? Scooped up Candace, and then it was like, oh fuck, Ernie stole my girl. So what do I do now? Candace was done with Benny. This is the way it goes, right? Somebody better came along who treated her a little bit more delicately, made her feel good. So like where Benny wouldn't be like, oh, Candace, you're so beautiful and your hair looks so, like, he would tell her hair looked good, but he didn't have that like finesse that Ernie has with Candace. So Candace, a better person comes along, in her opinion, that can, schmooze everybody online. So she's going to pick Ernie. Benny got shoved out because Ernie came along. This is the way it goes. And there will be someone after Ernie. This is who Candace is. She uses people. But Ernie.
Talking to Ernie?
No. So I think they've had communication, but it's not like it was before. So he had, and I haven't watched Ernie, so there might be people that know better than me. I haven't watched him in a couple days. I keep up on Ernie when AB shows Ernie because he follows a lot of that. I can't sit through Ernie. Like
I've never watched him.
But
I've once watched him.
Like, so Candace has been ducking Ernie a lot, as far as I know, and I can remember. She's playing a lot of fucking games with him. But Ernie also, I believe, is a lot smarter than people give him credit for as well, where, he'll sit there and he'll talk to her like she's a baby. You know what I mean? He's trying to get information out of her. So, but the thing is, there hasn't been a single person that has been able to fucking crack her. And it can be done. I believe it can be done. Just the right person hasn't been able to do it. That's all.
If there's something to crack, there may not be something to crack.
There's got to be, Laura.
I mean, there's something like, were you really not there? Were you sleeping? I mean, there are things for her to crack. But as far as her admitting, I killed Summer, I did anything, the best chance we had to ever find out was Benny, and he blew it.
I was shocked. But he didn't really, okay, so yes, he blew it, but I think he thought he had more time. So where I think Benny really thought, I've got ample time with Candace. She's not going anywhere. He took it for granted, right? Like he thought, and this is just my opinion, I think Benny really thought he had Candace forever. Like he didn't think she was going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ernie came in, scooped her up. Benny lost his, and then he had to, and this is the way I feel, he had to run it like, oh, I had to, they're guilty. I can't support them. Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. Yeah. Everybody knows that's not true. But they eat it right up like, oh, Benny, you did all this for Summer. That's why Benny came after all these people, doxed the fuck out of my whole life, doxed the fuck out of everybody else's life. That's why he was attacking literally everyone, right? Because he didn't believe them. Get out of here.
See, that's why I stayed away from Summer. It was Benny, because I am not dealing. I mean, not that doxing me hasn't been done 1,000 times. But Benny, I watched Benny lie his ass off. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. There's
Laura,
not worth it.
He literally, the other day, I was what, he's been putting songs out on his channel, like singing songs to me. I don't even know. Tupac. Yep, you're a bitch. Like he's singing, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. Like in the car, driving down the road, singing songs. Okay. So the other day I get this notification and he's got his son in the car. He's the cutest little thing. He's precious. And he's in the car seat, in the back seat. And Benny's talking about me to his son. He's little. He's a baby. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's probably 3 years old or something. And he had him pray for me. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Wow. That I'm a witch, that I wear a pointy hat. Like, come the fuck on.
Wow.
He's crazy. Benny's always
3-year-old.
Yeah, I don't get him. I really don't. Listen, my 17-year-old son has listened and he's like, Ma, what the hell? I'm like, I don't know, man. He's nuts.
I agree, Gemini. BK is genuinely unstable.
Like, I don't understand. Like, the thing is, he could have done so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing where I'm like, damn, like you dropped the ball so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because he thought he had more time. I think he really thought he had more time. I think he thought Candace wasn't ever going to go anywhere, but he didn't expect Ernie of all people to come swoop in and take Candace under his wing. But she's going to move on to the next. Like, there's certain people who support Candace you don't even know about. We don't even know about. There's, like a channel the other day I had no idea even existed has been talking to Grandis for the whole duration of this case. And I had gone over there because there were lies that were put out about Summer's case. And I'm not a Grandis supporter by any means, but I am a supporter of the truth. And this girl, she's really nice. Her name's Queen Bee. I like her a lot. But she's been in communication with Grandis for the whole time. And she had all the facts and all of the proof to debunk what was going on another channel that is repetitively lying about Summer's case, putting out all kinds of false info. But when I went over there, I'm like, it's crazy. You would never know these people are behind the scenes so heavily involved with Wells, So they do have their supporters. In fact, they have a lot of supporters. Candace has a lot of supporters. Grandis has a lot of supporters. It's kind of weird to me, but they do. I guess everybody has their support, but it's nuts. Laura, did you want me to tell you what happened with Cam before I got?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You want me to start over?
Yeah, because you were all choppy.
Oh, fuck. That's right. Okay. Okay. So Squall had the 11-hour panel where they said that Jody Sue's son was in the woods. They saw his clothes. They were chasing him, blah, blah, blah. Now, then I've got Cam, who came on yesterday and said, no, this happened in September or October. So Squall the day before says right around Summer's disappearance. Everybody says it was the day Summer disappeared. Cam says, no, late September, October. Then he changed it to early September.
But how did Cam know?
Because the witness that he wouldn't tell me the name of or who this person is or anything about them told him. So the same person, now get this, the same person that told him is the same person that told Squall. So how do we have such a time lapse, right? Like, why is there such a discrepancy with time? Why is the same person, because I asked him, is it the same person that told you, that told Squall? He said, yeah. So why is this person got months apart? So here we've got Squall, who says Jody Sue's son was up on the property in the woods when Summer disappeared. Cam's like, no, people don't know that it was months after. It was September, October. Then Squall comes back and says, no, I can guarantee you it was before July 27th. The boys were taken July 26th by CPS. So, but when Jody discussed this last night, she said, hold on a second, I gotta keep all of this straight because there's so many fucking stories. She said boys were already gone when her son went to the mailbox. She said she remembers specifically the day. She said she's not telling the date because she's not giving them any information. So whatever Jody knows about the date that they're talking about, they've got it all the way jacked up. Because if she's keeping it private, she's like, fuck you, I've got proof. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'd be very curious to know how far off they are with this date. Anyway, Jody said the boys were already gone. So explain to me how Squall says it was absolutely before July 27th. The boys were taken on the 26th. So that doesn't make sense. You've got Cam saying it was September, October. Squall saying the day before that it was when Summer disappeared. And you've got a woman named Constance in my chat waving Cam down, flagging him down like a psychopath. Okay? No, don't say that. Say this. Don't say that. Like, it's the most psychotic thing I've ever seen. Who are these people?
I agree.
Okay? It's nuts. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, Cam left my panel after he said, I don't agree with people attacking Jody. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. He goes over to Squall's legit seconds after he gets off my panel. And you know, I've been a very big supporter of cracking cases. I've always supported them. Yeah. Yesterday, he pushed my buttons in a fucking major way. So he goes over there and Squall says, I'm witness tampering because I asked Cam, I said, would you be willing? Oh, okay. The nap is out for now. Okay. So he sits there while Squall's telling everyone that I'm tampering with a witness when all I said was, this isn't coming from Jody. She had no idea I was going live. I went live on my own. I had no conversation with her about it. Nothing I said yesterday came from Jody at all. It had nothing to do with her.
So I don't understand though. He said that you were tampering with a witness?
No, Squall said it while he sat there because I had asked him, would you be willing to tell Jody who the witness is, who is making this claim about her son? I think she deserves to know. So I said, would you be willing to tell her in private? Like if she even wanted to know, if she would even want to talk to you. Like I was just curious myself. Like I was just asking. Squall goes over there and says, I'm tampering with a witness. And Cam just sits there. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
that's what Cam does. That's why I can't deal with him.
You've got to be kidding me.
He's like, duh.
And then he tells everybody, yeah, I shout out Cracking Cases channel all the time, Queenie. Like, I have always supported them, always. I have never had a single problem with Cam and Allie. I've gone on their panel. He's come on mine. Like, always. I have never, ever had a negative word to say about them. Everyone knows that. I've always been supportive of them. And I don't hate them. I'm really upset with him. I'm upset with the fact that he would let someone say, I'm tampering with a witness. That is absolutely not fucking true.
Because that's Cam. Because that's Cam, though. He does. He just sits there and goes, duh. That's who he is.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. And then he tells everybody, well, my feelings changed from 2 hours ago. Like, what? What do you mean your feelings changed? Okay, whatever. So I got pissed. I put out a community post and then he made a video and he apologized and everything. I'm irritated as fuck over it. It's sick. Like, why even come and sit there and say, you know, I'm going to stand up against what's happening right now in the community and people coming out with daggers against Jody, and I don't agree with them, you know, attacking our son, and then go over to Squall's while she attacks. This just makes no sense. You can't take like anything for what he's saying.
Oh, I agree.
Queenie, are you saying I might be a little ADD?
No, he's saying that Cam, because the way he talks.
Oh, I probably sound like I have ADD because I do.
He puts himself in it. I mean, what did he expect? But it seems like a lot of these people, me, the complicated, it seems like a lot of these people just want to seem like the big shots. That's all they do. They just want to do the big shots. They want to say, I live here, so here you go. You know, I'm so special and important because I live here. It's what turned me off to Dolly too.
Oh yeah. I actually had, you know, asked Dolly for a favor the other day, but he never answered me.
What was the
Critical Thinking Crime, who's in your chat, Laura, you would love her. by the way. She's amazing. She does great videos. She's done a couple on Benny too. You would love her. Check her out.
I will.
Yeah, she's from over across the pond. Super cool. But yeah, no, I had done a live where I had asked Dolly to please stop tagging Summer's name in these thumbnails of Benny. Like, there's all the, he's very creative, Dolly. I like his thumbnails. I think they're super cool. But I'm searching Summer's name and I see Benny spread eagle with it, like all this garbage. Like, he's legit tagging Summer in all of this bullshit. I'm pissed. So I'm like, Dolly, can you stop doing this? Like, but I've also heard Dolly defend Summer. I've heard Dolly go to bat for Summer. I've heard him stand against, bullshit and rumors. And I've seen him call out assholes when it comes to her. Like, I know he has a good heart, but like, why am I searching Summer's name and finding all of this shit? Like, can you not? But Bullhorn came after me too. Did you see?
The what?
Bullhorn.
Oh, she's such an asshole. I don't watch her at all.
Did you see what happened the other day?
Yes. Yeah, it was in your live.
Momo, to be honest, Tiff lashes at anyone who actually goes there and does something. Was that long ago? She was spouting bull about Laura being there. I never spouted bullshit about Laura being there. When? Where? Where's your proof? And no, I didn't lash out at anyone who actually goes there. That's a lie, Momo.
No, she was sprouting at me because we were fighting. It had nothing to do with me being there.
They think they know everything. Who do you mean, Momo? You mean Ziggy when she tried to say that Summer's bones were out there? Yeah, I did lash out. I did. And Marissa standing outside screaming that Summer was sexually abused. Yeah, I did lash out. I don't agree with certain things. I'm not lashing out at anybody for going there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
you
a
never
free
said
country.
anything about me going there. I think you gave me a compliment about going there and what I covered.
No, I support anybody who I've always said that. They think they know me. You don't know me. Thanks, but no.
Bullhorn has always been a moron.
Bullhorn thinks that, she and Justice for All. Justice for All ripped my content, okay? So it's crazy. This is the most insane bullshit, Laura. It's the most insane bullshit I've ever seen. So he goes live the other day. It's about Jody Sue, right? So Jody Sue did an interview with Chris McDonough on John Q's panel a long time ago. Okay. And it was a really important interview. It was an 18-hour live stream that John Q hid. Remember when Scott H went nuts?
Wow.
Do you remember that Scott H going nuts on me?
I never watched Scott H.
But do you remember when that happened?
I remember vaguely.
All right. John Q hides the stream, deletes it, gone forever, literally.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. I luckily was able to get the audio. It was an audio file. It was not a screen recording. It wasn't the stream. I go and I put this out 6 months ago on my channel, and it's legit. You can see it's my audio file that I'm sharing on the screen from my phone, and I'm the only one who put it out. Legit. No one else covered it. No one else put it out. Justin goes live. The Jody Sue call tells people he's got a phone call with Chris McDonough and Jody Sue. Takes it from my channel because it's the only place it exists. And he rips the shit, says it's a phone call between Jody and Chris, and then says that it was put out multiple different places, that it didn't come from me, blah, blah, blah. And he's got like this thumbnail that says Jody Sue across it with a phone and like a creeper staring out the blinds, like the mini blinds. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you really gonna rip my content? Like, he doesn't even say where it came from. He tells people it's a phone call when it was really a live panel. These people, Laura, They will suck this case dry for anything.
I know.
Anything.
I've seen it. And good juju, you're right. Trained by MGL. Because it's funny when you said you never saw anything like it. When me and MGL first had the fallout, and Justice for All was slowly, before Jose came in, and he was trying to build his channel, every single true crime case that I covered, Justice for All went live later that day or the next day with the exact same case. And we're not talking like, big case that everyone was talking about. I try to find like obscure cases. And every single time he went live that night or the next day with with the same video. I was like, am I delusional here? Or does he seem to be following a pattern that every single video that I do, he's then does the same one later on? And everyone was like, no, you're not losing it. He really is. And then I said something live and then, oh, we're not doing that. I totally knew MGL was like, oh, let's grab that. Let's grab that. And then Jose came and boom. Then he just blew up from Jose and then started sucking this dry.
Last kiss. Hopefully you can rewind and catch up on. I know you're probably just joining chat, but what did I say about Cam? I don't think I said anything derogatory about Cam. Why did you scream at Squall in her chat, making friends everywhere you go? Because we've got women lying about sexual assault. That's why. I don't take kindly to that, especially when my panel is used to do it. Yeah.
Last kiss. Did you hear my commentary? My commentary was quite obvious why she screamed at Squall. I'm surprised she didn't like physically hurt her, honestly.
Laura, it's a good thing that there's computers like blocking us.
Exactly. I am not one to promote. I would never promote physical violence.
No.
Squall was so full of shit and scrambling to come up with something to justify her lies. And I'm telling you that straight up. I would have yelled at her too. Squall is nuts. I agree. Absolutely.
I just couldn't believe
100% right.
The night before that happened. Honestly, like a lot of people think they know, right? Like they think they know what happened. The thing is, I reached out to Triggered Crimes and I said, listen, I feel horrible. I feel horrible. I allowed someone to come on my panel and to use Squall's story. Now, meanwhile, you've got World War III breaking out between Squall and Jody Sue and everything, but it still mattered, right? And it's not like I don't know Squall. She's not somebody I know. But I absolutely felt terrible. I was beside myself. I was mortified and I was embarrassed that I just took someone's word for this. So I reached out to Squall and I said, what can I do? Like, is there anything I can clear up? Is there anything? And I'm expecting Squall to say, yeah, this, and this was a lie. Girl, she had her back.
Exactly.
Like, she completely had Tennessee Truth's back. And where I'm sitting here, like, apologizing from the bottom of my heart, truly, genuinely sorry, because I am. I still am if that really happened. But now that I see this, I'm like, this whole fucking thing is a setup.
I don't believe
the whole thing. And I don't know if that person saw Squall's chat. I don't think I could ever remember in the history of YouTube ever being treated the way I was last night in that chat. I was kind of scared. Looking at how many people I've never seen in my life that absolutely hate me as much as they do, I don't know why. Like, to know that there's strangers that hate you with a vengeance is terrifying.
I hear you. I deal with it every day. Every day from a couple of different creators. One of them specifically.
I never say that. Like, I never, ever have said looking at a chat was terrifying. Like, that shit was scary. I'm like, holy fuck. Where am I? And I was defending her. They're like,
It
you're being mean to Squall. I'm like, no, I have her back.
It was so weird. I'm
Oh my
telling
God,
you,
it was so
so
emotional.
weird. How she was defending it and how she was telling you how you needed to show her proof
Yeah.
that didn't happen. I don't think the issue was whether it happened or not. The issue was she stole your fucking story and went on Tiffany's panel. This is not rocket science. Hello?
Yeah, no, I definitely got shredded,
out.
Gemini. Shredded is an understatement. Like that was worse than a shredding. Like that was like Edward Scissorhands fucking me up.
What were they saying?
Oh God. The chat's not there. She hid the chat, so you can't see it. I couldn't even sit here and begin to tell you. It was so bad. Like, so there were my supporters over there, and then there were hers. I think there were 600 people watching. And I'm seeing my people like, no, wait, she's defending Squall. Like, she's not coming after her. She's defending her. She's trying to say she's sorry. And someone used your story. And they're like, Tiffany's the fucking, you would think I was Medusa and I was an evil wretch. Like, I killed their child. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was like, it was horrible. I would not wish that hate on anybody. Don't forget.
Who is this? Starts with an L. I'm really tired, so I keep forgetting.
Did you sleep? Did you sleep last night?
Nope.
No.
Going to bed as soon as live is over.
Oh my God.
I couldn't sleep. I was working on web design all night. But what the hell do I need? Someone, Lippy, help me out. Who's the person in our chat? Low something. Low no more. Who?
Steph, I don't have you blocked. Oh, lip blocked.
Lip lock no more. That's it. What is the deal with you?
Okay, well, lip locked is an older woman who well, she came on the scene really sweet, really kind, and she really like was a cutie at first, like with Summer. She seemed like grandmother that Summer never had, right? Like I really liked her. I supported her a lot. I put her channel out there, really like pushed her, got her to 1,000 subs. Like I really liked her at first.
Okay.
But when the fundraiser happened, the reward fund, that fucking shit show, that's when she turned real crazy. But I mean, truthfully, when it comes to me, she doesn't bother me too much. In fact, I bitched her out for going after Tennessee Truth and called her out. Like, here we are now. And I'm like, well, I kind of owe the lady an apology for what I did, right? Because I was over there defending Tennessee Truth to Lip Locked, and now I'm sitting here and Lip Locked is defending Tennessee Truth, and I'm the bad guy, right? It makes no fucking sense. Who is she? She's just an older lady that she used to be an investigative journalist, and she interviewed what was his name? Oh shit. It was way back. Hold on a second. Does anybody remember? Oh God, what was his name? She interviewed a guy from, was it the Klan? I'm trying to remember. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find this. She used to be an actual investigative journalist.
Okay.
I'm trying to find this. Hold on. Why do you ask?
No, because someone mentioned it before you came on in the very beginning. Someone said that they believe it was a setup from this Lip Lock No More. Maybe she was involved in it. So I figured I'd ask you, what was the deal with you and
what
Lip
was
Lock?
a setup?
That Scratch Rot and
no, I don't think she had anything to do. I wouldn't think she had anything to do with it.
Okay.
As far as I know, I don't think so. Shit, what the hell was that guy's name? I want to say Hobbs, but that's because I'm sitting on a panel with you. It wasn't Hobbs. Shit. This is gonna bother me now. I hate when that happens. It's right behind on the tip of your tongue. I wish you didn't have to call her an old lady. I didn't, Melly. I called her an older woman. What are you talking about?
How old is she?
Oh my God. Oh, she's got to be at least in her late 70s, I would say.
That's an old lady.
She's an older woman. Like, why do people fucking get on my ass for the stupidest shit? No, not Daniel Carver. It was Jerry. Was it Jerry? Oh my gosh. Terry. Hold
Terry.
on. No. Am I going to go crazy right here? Now I'm saying Terry. Noble. Terry Noble.
Who's that?
So, hold on. I'm going to see if I can find this real quick for you. Is it Terry Noble? No. Was it Terry? Is his name Terry Noble? Now I feel nuts.
And Rose, I agree with you. I absolutely 100% agree with you.
Don't take my word for that. It's not Terry Noble. Oh my God, what was the guy's name? I would say that to anybody, promise not be mean. No, Melly, but I didn't call her an old lady. I said she's an older lady or an older woman. And to be honest with you, I mean,
she's an old lady. My
she's
mom's
not
75.
exactly very
She's old.
nice to me. Why don't these people go over there and call her out when she's talking shit about me? Like, she said much worse than old lady when it comes to me. No one ever does that, though. Why don't you go have my back over there, Melly? I know you're not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, like, make some sense. Everyone's so quick to call me out, but whatever. Why? Why is it, Laura?
I don't know.
I know they do it to you, too.
Hey, Mike. I am an old lady, Quinny.
That's older, but my BFF will kick my ass if I call her an old lady. Oh, wow. Listen, I feel like an old lady. And Melly, I'm not being mean to you. I don't even watch her. All the older ladies are a little grouchy. I'm grouchy too. Tiffany, Terry. No, Noble. I could have sworn his name. She said she did this interview, and I remember going to look it up, and I'm like, no shit. And that really is her. She did it's on YouTube. So let me see. You would probably be you'd probably be surprised at this.
Who's
from BOE. This is
Hey, Steph.
Steph Hammond. I don't have you blocked, hon. I can see you. I just haven't been in chat as all. Anyway, I'll have to figure out what it was. I'm surprised nobody knew, but no one knew about Jody Sue before summer got gone.
Understand, Tiffany is 35. So we're all old to Tiffany. Anyone over the age of 45 is old to Tiffany.
No, that's not true.
You just gotta remember that.
No, because my parents are young. My mom had me when she was 18, and she's in her 50s, and I don't think she's old at all. She's young at heart. In fact, people think we're sisters. I don't think 50s is old. I think old is over 75. I would even say like 72 isn't that old. And age is nothing but a number anyway. When I say she's an older woman, it's not to disparage her.
See,
you know what? I'll give her credit. She looks good for her age. She's got a cute little figure. She's stood up before and shown like herself. There's a lot of younger women that look a hell of a lot worse than that. I mean, she's tiny and looks like she takes good care of herself. Her body is taken care of, at least.
I'll give her my son tells me that I'm so old that we didn't even have color TVs. I said, bitch, I ain't that old.
Oh my God.
He's like, Mom, you didn't even have cars. I said, yes, we did, Dave.
Hey, Laura, speaking of Dayton, how's he doing?
He's okay. He's up and down. He's 14. I mean, he's a 14-year-old boy. And so, yeah,
if
he's got attitude.
I meant with Brad.
I know. Nah, he's doing all right. He's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has his moments. He's just a typical boy. You know, he's trying to put it aside one moment and then he talks about it the next. And, you know, he's kind of iffy on the joking around and I don't know which way he's going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll get
so
there.
Does he like have a sense of humor about it a little bit or?
Sometimes it's like it depends on his mood, but I can tell he's getting more and more moody. And I know that we went to the doctor yesterday and the doctor said it's to be expected. And, you know, you just add in being 14, having an attitude, going into puberty and your dad discovering girls and you're going to be driving next year. Just all these things happen all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's very normal at his age. It's just
absolutely.
You know, the kid that got an attitude to begin with, who's too smart for his own good. Now you add in the fact his dad died, and it just amplifies that attitude and the, you know, I don't want to do it because I'm upset, or, you know, using the death as an excuse, and you don't know what's an excuse and what's not an excuse. So it's going to be a long road. I'll say that.
Of course.
So, but I mean, he's doing better. He's not crying at night anymore. He's definitely doing better.
He's not. He was crying at night.
Oh yeah, he was crying at night.
Oh my God. Oh, Laura, my heart goes out to you.
He wears his dad ashes every night, every day, and he wears them around.
What does he do?
We had some of Brad's ashes put in a necklace for him that I got him.
Oh.
And so it's in a necklace and he wears it all the time, except when he plays football, he takes it off and in a shower.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's nice. That was nice that you had that put in a necklace for him. He can take it with him and have him close to his heart all the time. Yep. Oh, poor Titan.
And so yeah, it's up and down. But, you know, and then he tries to use it as an excuse. And I said, no, you're not using that as an excuse. You know, you're not doing these things like, you know, don't leave this around. He leaves it around. Don't do this around. Leaves it around. He just doesn't care. And that's frustrating. That makes me want to wring his neck. You know, you try to give him a little leeway and then they take too much. And then you don't want to be too mad because you don't want to get him upset. And you have to find a happy balance. So, and that's it.
Well, I'm glad that at least, you know, he's starting the healing process, and you're a good mom, Laura. You're a good mom.
It is. I mean, I know it'll take time. It's just a matter of
keeping forever.
Mm-hmm. It's just keeping him on the right path. So,
well, if you ever need anything, let me know. You know I'm here for you.
Thanks. I do. It is tough being a parent. I want all my kids like Phoenix. He's so easy.
That's like he's the easiest thing in the world. God bless him. He really is. He's been so easy and like literally not a single day of grief. He's driving me around now. Oh my God, driving me on the highway. We went to the movies last night and I can't believe it. Huh?
Just be careful.
Yeah, I know.
Total a car like Sage did.
God forbid, make the sign of the cross.
Total dumbass.
She totaled the car?
Oh, she did. Sage totaled the car 2 weeks after I gave it to her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, completely totaled it. I wasn't friends with you then? I mean, we
I
must
don't
have
know.
been
I
fighting.
don't remember that happening.
I gave Sage months ago. I gave Sage my car, my Kia, and she had it probably about a month, not even, that it was hers. Still hadn't even registered it. And I get a phone call at 8 o'clock in the morning. She's hysterical, crying.
Oh my
Car
God.
was demolished. Her friend had fractured ribs. Now here's the cat, or a punctured lung. Here's the
You had
catch.
insurance on it, right?
Oh, I had insurance. It was
Oh, thank God.
100% her fault.
It was. Damn.
Yep. So I told her, I said, you know what, hon? I will never buy you a car again. Nope. You did this. This is on you, and you will not get my car. I will let you drive my car when I'm around, but the fact that you did this, that it was 100% your fault, done. Done.
She's okay though. She wasn't injured at all, right?
She wasn't injured at all.
Thank God. That's all that matters, Laura. I mean, I know it sucks, but thank God she's okay. It could have been, God. It makes me so nervous. I'm like, listen. So like when my son's driving, I don't normally talk about my son on here, but it's okay. Whatever. When my son's driving, my biggest thing, I don't know if anyone else's kid does this. Let me know, because I literally want to crawl into the fetal position and hide. When he goes to turn, when he's taking a turn, he presses the gas like really hard. I'm like, no, don't press the gas like that. I'm like, all you have to do is let go of the gas pedal. Don't press the gas but he'll be like at a complete stop and he's about to make a turn. Like, say we were in the grocery store parking lot yesterday. We come to a complete stop and he's going to turn. And instead of just letting his foot off the gas and like letting the car drive itself to turn, he's like pushes the gas so hard. And I'm like, holy fuck. So I'm like, my tires are never going to make it. Like, my rims are going to be fucked. My tires are going to be fucked. I swear to God. Yeah, he accelerates to turn. I'm like, you don't do that. Does anyone else's kid do that?
Laura Lee, you want to hear a funny story? You just reminded me when you said that. I've told
Laura, you're supposed to make me feel better. Did any of your kids do that?
Well, Dayton is not driving yet, although Brad taught him how to drive.
What about Phoenix and Sage?
He doesn't drive yet. He's because of his ankle. So it's only Sage. And Sage was a really careful driver when
careful. He's good. It's just that one thing.
Or she used to drive too close to the edge, but in the end, she totaled a car from blowing a red light. So,
oh fuck. Well, you know what's funny? So every time I hit like a yellow light, my son has always been like, "Oh, you could have made that, Mom, right? Like you could have made it. You could have made it." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't mess around." Sometimes it depends. When you have to stop and when you can go. Anyhow, yesterday he came up on a yellow light. We were on a main road, like a pretty busy one, and it had just turned yellow, and he slams on the brakes, right? Like he's like, "Nope, I gotta stop. And I'm like, I was joking with him. I'm like, "Come on." I was like, "You could have made it." He was laughing so hard.
You could have made it.
So I'm like pulling all the passenger seat driver jokes that not really jokes, because he'll be like he's got to be the one telling me what to do. So now all the things he nagged me for. It was so funny.
I've actually never heard of somebody hitting the gas when they turn.
No, I don't know what is going on with that, but yeah, no, I need to help him when it comes to that, because I'm like, no, you don't even need to hit the gas.
He wants to be careful, because if he's going around a sharp turn, that gas is going to lose it.
Well, the thing is, the sidewalks around here are like really high, like very like they're granite. They're made of granite, and they're really sharp sidewalks. Like, I'm like, you are gonna blow out my tires, dude. Like, for real. I can't take it. It gives me such anxiety. Pray for me. No, he does good. He's a great parker. He's a great driver. He's really good. It's just that one thing, hitting the gas when he's turning. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're trying to kill me right now.
Does the East Coast still have a driver's test where you have to do 3-point turn and stuff?
I don't know. And his driver's test is actually coming up soon. We put it off because of COVID. I mean, everything was at a standstill. He should have had his license already last year. So and get this, all the classes are online. I'm like, what do you mean online? You don't drive with like a real guy? Because I had to drive around with the drive guy.
Yep.
What are they doing? Are they seriously going to put these kids on the road with like no actual? I used to have to go with that guy and drive with him all the time.
So did I. Here, at 15 years old, is when you get your permit, 16 your license. But check this out. You take a class at school and all you do is drive around. Sage did not, in order to pass her license, she didn't have to, all she had to do is take this class at school. She didn't have to do a 3-point turn. She didn't have to get on a highway. She didn't have to do a parallel park.
I didn't have to get on the highway for my driver's test, and that was many moons ago.
All she had to do is show she can drive. She went and took a permit test. She took this class at school, and it's like a driver's ed regular class. And she didn't need to even take a test. She automatically got her license. That's how it's done here.
Wow. See, that's the thing. Rhonda, I agree with you. I honestly, like, I will be honest. This is scary for me. The scary thing is like driving. I do worry because it's not even so much. I learned very easily when I was in an accident how quickly it can happen, and it's not your fault. Like, it's other people. And I think the scariest thing I've ever really had to deal with is that he's going to be out there driving, and I want him to be safe, like that scares the fuck out of me. My brother has had wrong way drivers twice. He had 2 wrong way drivers on 95 on the highway coming toward him twice within 5 months at night, in the middle of the night, driving home from work. Literally, this was several years ago, but I mean, it's scary out there. One of them, literally, if he didn't know to veer the right way, he could have been killed. I mean, no one's paying attention. There's so many people on drugs. There's drunk drivers, all this. Really? And to like send your kid out into the world, like you think sending them to school is scary, right? We're like, oh my God, Now I'm like, holy shit, this is the scary part. Like, this is the scary part. He's going to be off in the world without me now. And I don't know. I'm probably going to be a mess.
Especially after one total took her. But let me tell a story real fast. Lori, keep laughing. I was 15. My parents won this trip to France. First class trip to France through my dad's business or something. I don't remember how they won, but it was this trip. My brother was almost 17. They left us alone for a week. Now, at 15, I was on a lot of hallucinogenics. And
oh my God.
My parents left both their cars. Me and my friend, Dawn, my best friend, thought that it was perfectly logical to convince my brother's friend to drive us into New York City to a Grateful Dead concert to get acid. I don't know why we thought this. He said, we called my brother. I don't know where my brother was, but we called his friend, his best friend. We're like, John, we need a ride to the city, because we knew John had a license. So he's like, well, how am I going to get there? I said, we'll come pick you up. I said, Dawn, you know how to drive? She said, yeah. I said, you do? She was only 15 too. But her dad had taught her how to drive. She's like, I think I could make it to John's. I mean, it didn't live far. I said, you sure you're not going to crash my mom's car? She said, no. So we go. Okay. We pick him up. He drives us into New York City. We go to this Grateful Dead concert. We pick up acid on the street. We head back home. Okay. We drop 2 hits of acid. Now, here's the part we did not realize. Well, how are we getting from John's house back home tripping on acid with my mom's car? We forgot about that. So on the way home, I'll never forget, we saw two. Now we're starting to trip, but we saw two people having sex in the back of a cab. To this day, I can still see it. It was so weird. But we were like, are those two people having sex in front of us? Or are we tripping? John was straight. John didn't take anything. So we get back to John's house. We are tripping balls. And now we have to figure out how we're getting back home. Now, mind you, we have my mom's car and we're both 15 and we're tripping on acid. Dawn's like, I think I could do it. I said, you think? I was like, dude, we're going to fuck up my mom's car. I go, what if we get into an accident? What if we get pulled over? Now, we're in the same neighborhood, so it's not like we had to drive on any main roads or anything. We had to drive like literally probably a mile away. So she gets on the road and we are laughing our asses off. And I was like, Dawn, you're going to crash. She's like, there's not even a car. It was the middle of the day. And I was like, you're going to crash. She's like, I'm not going to crash. Be quiet. So we finally make it back to the house and she's like, I am not pulling in the driveway. I mean, in the garage. So she pulls in the driveway. We thought she did a good job. Again, I still don't know where my brother is all this time, but we thought she did a good job. We trip out. There was a knock at the door and we were sober at this point. And it was my neighbor. She said, you may want to move your mom's car because it's kind of crooked. She literally parked halfway on the grass and halfway in the driveway. I had a like up driveway, halfway in the grass, like almost in the bushes and on the driveway. And we thought she did a great job. And I was like, oh my God, we didn't even realize that. And the neighbor was like, yeah, you might want to straighten that out. I said, thank you. Oh my God. How we made it, I have no idea. I finally told my parents that story on the day I got married. I was like, Mom, I've been keeping something inside that I have to tell you for years. And I told her. She's like, oh my God, are you crazy? I was either the day I got married or the day I gave birth. One or the other. But yeah, I'll never forget that. If my kids ever stole my car to go buy hallucinogenics, holy shit.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah, I would fuck.
There would be no driving my car at all.
My brother came home. We never told my brother. I was like, don't tell Bobby. Don't tell him. And John's like, how do I not tell him? I'm like, don't tell him, he'll kill me.
Well, I mean, I honestly can say I've never operated my vehicle except one time, and I will never forget that one time. My son was a baby and he was sick, and I was out with friends, and I should have never gotten in the car. And I always made that promise to myself that I would never drive impaired, and ever. And I'll never forget. And I regret doing it even to this day. It was many years ago. We're talking like 17 years ago. But I was out with friends. I was just at my friend's house and we were having drinks. And I don't remember how many drinks I had, but I do remember I wasn't exactly on my best. And I'm not proud to admit it, of course. This is not, I don't drive drunk. I am not a driver that does that. But he was sick and had a fever. And I remember getting the phone call that he was sick. It was the first time I had ever gotten a phone call like that. He was little. And I'm like, holy fuck, like, what do? I got to get home. I called for a taxi. They were all, this was New Year's Eve. There were no taxis for hours and hours. I'm like, fuck. All my friends were drunk. I was screwed, totally screwed. So I did. I remember getting in the car and I sat there and I'm like, am I okay to drive? And I'm like, it's questionable. Like, I wasn't shit-faced to the point where I couldn't see straight, but I knew I felt it, right? Like when you sit in front of the wheel and you know, like you've had too much to drink. Yeah. But I remember driving super slow, like super slow, but I wanted to get there as fast as I could, of course. And I was scared because he's my first baby. I was young. And I remember getting home and saying, I will never do that again. And that was the only time that I ever did it, and I never did it again. So there was one time in my life, but I do not understand why people don't fucking just get a ride. Like, I don't understand. I don't know why people drive drunk.
I agree. I told my daughter that. I told her friends that.
I've always said, call me, you know, like I've always told my friends, call me. They know they can call me. I will get up out of my sleep for anybody to go get them, no matter who it is or where they are. Like, I would never want someone to drive inebriated, you know. I remember passing by Wendy's and there was a cop sitting there and I was holding the steering wheel so tight, could have broken it off the friggin' dashboard. But there were no Ubers back then. All we had was a regular, I'm talking, this was many moons ago. We didn't have an Uber back then. We had like one taxi service and there was like 2 drivers. And I remember calling and saying, I need a ride. And they said, well, you're going to have to wait until, I think it was something like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was 12:30. I'm like, shit. So I ate a bunch of peanut butter because my girlfriend's like, here, this will make so you can't smell alcohol. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I ate peanut butter. I had a sandwich. Like, I'm like shoveling food in my mouth, you know? And I wasn't, obviously wasn't drunk, but I think I had a couple drinks. So yeah, don't ever drive drunk.
I agree. Or drugs. Like, I never drove drunk, but I have driven on drugs.
I wasn't like, I can't relate to it because I never took drugs like that. Like, I wasn't ever into mind altering stuff.
That's a good thing. Well, I've never driven on acid.
Thank God.
I know. I've never driven on hallucinogenic.
Yeah, no. I was never into that. I never did anything crazy when I was. I know what
you're missing. No.
I only smoked weed and drank. That was it. I never did like hard drugs or anything like that. Never put anything up my nose. Never did anything. Nothing like that. But that's because the fear of God was put in me. You know, Hartley already dropped a video. Oh God, yeah.
What? About my acid? I mean,
Great.
These people are so desperate for content. They'll take anything.
Why can't we just like have like any like just I haven't talked to Laura in so long. I'm just like sitting here shooting the shit, relaxing, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. Oh, I see it. It's about Squall. Because now she actually ripped something of mine the other day too. Hartley doesn't like me. She's never liked me. For what reason, I don't know. Squall, a professional opinion. Hold on.
That's because it was obvious what Tiffany meant. She wasn't asking her if she was crazy. It was pretty obvious the way Tiffany said it, what she meant, and Squall was dead silent. That's a dead giveaway that she's full of shit. Tiffany should have never had to explain all this, but Squall is sitting back going, oh, what do I say? What's the right answer? What am I supposed to say right now? Should I be in therapy? Should I not be? She's running through this in her mind instead of a simple yes or no. That's a liar. What the fuck is this girl even remotely talking about?
Like, why is this content for her?
Does Hartley know what the fuck happened? Like, does she know what the fuck happened? So Hartley, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you're aware, but a woman came on my panel and straight up used another woman's story of rape and assault, took someone else's story that I don't even believe is true anymore. Okay. They used me to get the story out. Hartley, why don't you cover that? Why don't you let everybody know that there's someone in this community that used such a sensitive topic as such with someone as myself who's actually dealt with and lived through that trauma and took advantage of my heart and everybody else's heart who actually cared and gave her so much love to make everybody look at a certain person instead of looking at Summer's actual guardians That was done to point the finger at someone who would easily be pointed at. Okay. So, Hartley, why don't you cover that and let everybody know that someone lied about rape to me? Because it happened to me. You won't cover it, right? So let me ask you this, Hartley. What if she would have lied to someone you like chasing? Would you care then? Yeah.
No.
You would.
She wouldn't cover it. She'll only cover what her buddies, what her friends like to listen to. And that's Laura, Tiffany,
You know what? People hate
MGL.
people so
It's
much.
fucking ridiculous.
She, like she doesn't care to cover what was done to us
Nope.
as a community. 14,000 people watched that. There were over 1,000 people supporting someone who lied to all of us, Hartley. And I'm like, seriously, being kind about it. I don't understand. Like, why is that what she takes away from this? I don't get it.
Exactly
Because
right.
she has to make it look like, I already know. Listen, I'll take care of it. It doesn't even matter if she starts uploading about it. I'll just keep drilling it in and drilling it in and drilling it in. I had to take my lives down last night. If anybody's wondering, both of my live streams are hidden, and I made a community post about it. And the reason being is what I was explaining before. There were some things that were put in my chat yesterday that were really suspect. And I'm kind of considering if I need to maybe turn them in because it's concerning. So I froze my chat. That's why I privated my live so nobody can go in there and remove their comments. They're not going anywhere. They're not hidden for any other reason than to save the chat. Because I believe there may be people in the community for Summer that might have knowledge of what has happened. And I really don't put it past one person in particular to actually be involved. And it's really starting to worry me.
I want to address a comment here. Tanya, it's not that Tiffany is making Dolly's business. People got on what's her name? Mommy Ramblings for the same thing.
What?
Don't tag somebody and then not even talk about them. Like, you're tagging somebody for views and money, and you're putting them in your title for views and money. At least talk about them. It's everybody's business. It's a community business. Nobody likes to see it. So it's not that Tiffany is in Dolly's business, but it's a tacky thing to do, and it's wrong because it shows that your intentions aren't about the actual person you're tagging. Your intentions are false flagging it, basically. Your intentions are phony. You're just there because you need the views, so you're putting Summerwell's name in it.
Can you put that comment on the screen, Laura?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't think that Tanya probably is even caught up because it sounds like she's behind. But I'll answer this, and thank you for what you just said. So I am not attacking Dolly. I actually give him credit for defending Summer and for being a voice for Summer. I've seen him do really nice things for Summer, and I appreciate that a lot, like a lot. And I've given credit to Dolly plenty of times. I do not own Summer's case. That's absolutely ridiculous. Never have claimed to own Summer's case, but I know it like the back of my eyelids. And I could sit here and I could tell you every single thing that's ever happened in this community surrounding her case. So it's all in perception. I guess if you think that I'm the queen of the Summer Wells case, that's your opinion. I don't feel that way at all. I think that we have a great community. I always consider the Summer Wells community the day ones who were there from jump. There's quite a few of us, probably I would say a little under 20 creators who covered everything factually, no drama. Before the fundraiser, the reward fund fundraiser, we had a really solid community. It was a beautiful community for Summer. And after that happened, there was a huge divide. After Dr. Phil aired, a lot of new people came in and started covering Summer's case and really fucking it up. I don't consider Dolly to be one of those people because I don't ever hear him spreading misinformation or disinformation. I think Dolly is pretty well informed when it comes to Summer's case, totally. I don't know why you would say, I see people all the time say Tiffany thinks she owns the Summer Wells case, and I can see what they mean. That would be Ziggy, who supports lying about rape and sexual assault, who sat on her channel this morning attacking me. And yeah, so Tanya Joy, you should go hang out with Ziggy. I have never claimed to own the Summer Wells case. That's an asinine comment to make. I take a lot of pride in what I've done for Summer, and I'm proud of the work that I've done. And I know I've done it with all my heart. Okay, Tanya, go fuck yourself. See if you can do better.
Point. Hold on, D-Line made a great point. If a TV show title said Star Wars and played The Simpsons, people would be upset that Star Wars wasn't playing. That's a great point.
I don't. Okay, this is why. Laura, can I share my screen? Really quick. I know you want to go. This is why I'm asking Dolly not to tag Summer's name. I'm going to show you exactly why. It's a screenshot. I'm going to put it up. So maybe Tanya will understand when I show this photo, because Summer doesn't deserve this. Summer deserves respect on her name. It was a simple request. I think it's disgusting and in poor taste to put these things out there, a stream that has absolutely nothing to do with Summer whatsoever.
To me, I'm trying to waiting for you to send it to share it.
I gotta pull it up. I'm pulling it up. I think it's absolutely disgusting to put Summer's name in the title and to tag her. So when I went to go search for something the other night, I put Summer Wells slip and slide video. I'm going to show you what came up when I went to go look for that video. This is what came up. Hold on. And it's wrong. That's why. Do I own the case? No, but I'm calling it out. It's fucking wrong. This is what shows up when you search Summer Wells. Do you think this is right, Tanya? Here, Laura. This? Does Summer deserve that? Ask yourself. Summer deserves that. This is the shit that shows up when you search Summer's name. Fuck off. Put some respect on her name. Bullshit. It's garbage. So, while I have respect for Dolly and I thank him for what he's done for Summer, I don't have respect for this. Period. End of. And if you do, get the fuck out of here. So delusional. Like, they don't even care about her. It's sick. I'm so tired of these people. That's why no one's really covering it anymore. No one really wants to talk about it anymore. The community's filled with a bunch of fucking scum. And all the drama community had to follow everybody into the Summer Wells case. And
I was just going to say that because look what Hartley just did. Like,
yeah,
it totally pulls one little clip, one little piece, so all in her buddies can be like, oh, Laura this, Laura that, Laura, and she could get views on it because it has my name in it. Mm-hmm. And she didn't listen to the whole story, because if she did, she would know I was 100% right. So whatever, carry on.
Well, that's the thing. Why isn't she alerting people that there's someone using such a sensitive and important topic so many people have been affected by? But because she used me to do it, it's okay, right?
Is that what her views?
Yeah.
Because, this Marisa, this is so bad, that won't get views.
You know what, Laura? I appreciate the fact that you brought attention to it and that you cared. Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah. I was banging my head against the wall. I was like, what the fuck Twilight Zone are we in? Yeah. Like, this is crazy. This girl.
Thank you for actually giving a shit when you see stuff like that and bringing attention to it. That's what good people do. good
That's
people.
what I do though. Like that's my thing. If like I don't jump on bandwagons for every like if I see something that I'm passionate about, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Good, bad, or indifferent. That just stuck. I've literally laid in bed like this can't be fucking real. This bitch is not like there's no way. There's no way that we're in this big of a Twilight Zone that she's actually mad at Tiffany. It just makes no sense. No sense at all. And I was like, I have to talk about this. This is going to drive me
They're both
nuts.
lying, both of them. And I really believe, especially after the email I received last night, you know what? It's not going to be the last time I probably talk about it, unfortunately. And it's the only time in my life I've ever had to say, I believe this is a lie. And it's not an easy thing to do.
I hear you. I've done it. I know the feeling. But I can sit here and say I don't believe either one of them. Her reactions, just like Amber Heard.
And I believe she pulled the wool over my friend's eyes too. Do you know how hard it was to listen to my friend sit there last night while Squall completely, she knew she was caught out, I believe, by she wasn't worried about me. It wasn't me that Squall was worried about. She was like, fuck.
No, it's TT.
I just got caught out by the lies that I've told my friend. So fuck you for that.
She couldn't come up with anything better than you were convincing your people. What? Like, where the fuck did you get that from? Like, please tell me where you pulled that out of the hat. That it's Tiffany's fault because she didn't convince her people. Oh my God.
No, you know what's my fault? It's my fault that I didn't actually ask for a police report. From now on, that one girl ruined it for anyone else because I can never do this again without worrying that I'm going to be putting out a lie. And I've never been one to question a victim ever. I've never done it. This is the first time in my life. No more. I will not provide a platform to anybody without a police report. If somebody needs me, I will be there, but I need to know that it's factual and that I'm not lying to people. And I went and apologized to that lady. You know, like I apologized from the bottom of my heart. I was so sincere. Her reaction told me everything. When she said, no, Hartley, why don't you clip Squall telling me that I made her brutal rapist look like a monster? Go find that, clip it, put it out, that I made him look like a monster. Not that he was a monster, that I made him look like a monster.
Where do you see Hartley?
I'm telling her because I know she's listening.
Oh, I thought she was in here.
No, but you know she's listening because she just clipped that. But that's the thing. Sure. Why would she clip that? But she's not going to say, we've got a problem here. Can anybody be like normal? No. See, it's a shithole over here. Shithole everywhere. Laura, thanks for having me up. It was fun.
You're very welcome. I need to go to bed.
Make me miss it over here a little bit.
No, I need to go to bed. I'm so tired.
Get some sleep.
Oh, I just want to go to sleep before the kids get home.
You better get some rest. Have a good sleep.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you guys for the PayPals, Cash Apps. I can't say Super Chat because I didn't get any, but I know I got some PayPals and Cash Apps. So thank you guys very much. But you got to keep up Super Chats too because YouTube likes them. So with that, I am going to sleep for a few hours. I will see you guys later. I got to get back on my regular schedule.
Bye, guys. Bye, Laura.
Staying up all night. Good night, Tiff. I'll call you when I get up. And that's it. So this went way longer than I thought it was going to go. Way longer. But I'm glad to see some faces in here I haven't seen in a while. Mindy, a couple of you guys. Let me just say my take on Dolly. I really did not have a problem with Dolly at all. I actually liked him until the other day. He was in Tennessee. Thank you, Seashell. He was in Tennessee, and he said, and I quote, "Oh, well, why don't you guys get off your asses and come here? How come everybody, just wants to stay what they say or stay what they state from, their home?" And all I heard was Butthead and MGL all over again. Well, bitch, I was there, and I did do my own searching. So what does that tell you? Does that mean I'm more important than somebody that didn't? Nope, sure didn't. It sure doesn't. So that once I heard him say that, I lost all respect. I was done after that. Nah, fuck that. I just don't like people that talk like that, and I just don't. So that's it. But on that note, Bullhorn is such a fucking loser. I hated her from day one. I still hate her, and nothing has changed. So, thank you, D. But I have been on 3 hours and 20 minutes. I'm out. Time to go to bed. Tells me you're a troll. Who's a troll? No, I just thought that was fucked up, though. You just don't say shit like that. Like, oh, well, you must have to be here in person. Come on. You went to meet fucking Upchurch, and you stopped by Tennessee. You stopped by Ben Hill on the way back. Let's be real here. So, yeah. I just got no respect for that. They didn't do anything but, yeah, I don't even get the whole harassing. But I think he's getting his numbers and money because he's new. He's a guy. I think guys get much more respect around here. Thank you, Snooks. I think guys get much more respect around here than women do. And I really believe that. Because a guy comes in, can say the exact same thing. Like if a girl came in this late in the game and started doing what he did, she would be shunned. They'd be like, you're so fucking old that we've already covered this 1,000 times, blah, 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 blah. And sure enough, a guy comes in and does it, and all of a sudden it's brand new. Brand new. So he actually went home and came back. Okay. Either or. I just didn't like him saying that. I thought it was fucked up. So there you go. But I'm out. I got to go to bed. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. I'm sure Tiffany will go live. And that's it. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace. It was a separate. I'm not bashing him. I just didn't like what he said. I just thought it was tacky. I thought it was wrong. And he's teaming up with Bullhorn now. Like, yeah, no, sorry. Gotta go. I ain't fucking with that. Anyone that can't see right through Bullhorn, I can't respect at all. So there's that. But again, I gotta go to bed. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Peace.